Talking about they're playing late last night, well into the evening hours. How refreshed are they now?
The morning hours, I mean, they didn't finish till 2 a.m. in a 5-map gigabang of versus Space Station Gaming, but ENCE played before them, and ENCE, you know, they had a tough run. 0-3 versus Zeta Division wasn't particularly inspiring. They need to be able to fix those issues. They were losing in the Diva versus Diva matchup versus Burner. Not a particularly good look on the last map as well when they tried to play the double flex, and as we move through into this particular matchup, it's a very different team compared to what Zeta brought to the table. This is now going to be a full dive team. What I want to see from Fnatic coming into this match is Dongak the entire way. Unfortunately, I don't think attack is up to snuff for this tournament right now. It should be ride or die with Dongak, no matter what the map is, no matter what the situation is. And for Fnatic, they're going to start out here in a Malga versus Malga.
Malga v Malga, support lineup's going to be looking the same, but the DPS is where we find some key differences far out here on the side of ENCE, as we have that venture out from Knife.
Maimon coming through onto the fire as well. Notice that the Echo has been banned, but it's first blood from Knife and the rank attack and low HP for Vistola.
Yep, that is just going to be a very easy team fight victory here, as the rest of the players now chasing out, trying to get themselves over to the dropship and keep their lives intact. Looks like widely they will be able to do so, but very quick kills coming through. Rack attack not quite ready for what hit him, and it's going to be the first lockdown of the point going the way of Fnatic.
Might be tough for Maimon to play in this situation because, you know, I think Farah has some capability playing around the outside, playing on the coast, but low ceilings here and difficulty in retaking. They do enter, however, most of the point. A lot of regression from Fnatic, though.
Yeah, Knife into the back, and once again, it's going to be Rack attack. The focus fire here is Checkmate, slicing and dicing, cuts across, finding Till. Vistola taken down as well, as now Sky will fall.
ENCE, 2 fights lost in a row. Ultimates are coming online now for Fnatic. Izayaki definitely ahead of Sky, especially considering that Sky Ripper did die there. Izayaki did not get into a situation where Checkmate's also finding a decent amount of first bloods. This ground game, due to the fact that you have the all in between Venture and Genji, is just so much better for Fnatic.
Dongak though going low. Can they try to keep him alive? It's going to be the Kitsune Rush coming through as he just sprints his way out towards safety.
Beat's coming too.
Heal's coming through as, yep, Beat will get dropped in. Checkmate. Basically no HP right now to speak of as he goes rushing forward though, but joins in alongside the rest of the team on the dive, and the kills will once again start coming through. Nowhere realistically here to go for Rack attack. Looks like he may just be able to wall ride long enough to get himself back over to safety though.
Need a situation now where Sky might have to use Kitsune Rush out of spawn. Depends if Fnatic want to let them do that or not. Cage is coming up as well. Just have so much more Fnatic side.
All right, popping the ult, but he's going to be dealt with. Yeah, huge shutdown there from Kevster, interrupting that one, and now it's going to be on the back foot for the side of Fnatic. Dongak just trying to peel back away, but cannot escape. And ultimately, this is just that Kitsune Rush invested. They still do have a sound barrier available to them.
I would actually like to see a situation where Knife actually waits for Dongak to use the cage first, then you have guaranteed targets to be able to use Tectonic Shock against. In this situation, Kevster just finds the opening, and for ENCE, they only use the Kitsune Rush, and great effect as well as Fnatic. First fight lost so far. ENCE, 4 ultimates, and this is where Maimon's Fire has a lot more utility. Now you can play all throughout this entire middle point. It'll be very tricky. You can play up to the high ground as well.
Barrage at the ready. There's a cage fight coming through, and looking to make advantage of that, and yes, he indeed will. 2 kills going to be found. Kevster pulls the blade. Will be able to find Izayaki and get the dash across on Checkmate. That's the team kill.
Yeah, they bought way too high here. Supposed to buy low and sell high for ENCE, and unfortunately they've emptied out their ult bank. 4 ultimates for that one fight. I don't think it's a good idea whatsoever, as Fnatic will walk away with just having used the cage. Spawn count coming through from ENCE.
Malga's trading places. Blade at the ready here for Checkmate. Kitsune Rush now available from Izayaki, but he himself going to be taken quite low. Checkmate dashing forward, slicing, seeking a target, but hasn't been able to find much of anything there as Izayaki and Dongak will both fall. Slitzing across, will set up for the kill from Knife, and he gets his double. Sky will also fall, but it's still good return fire here from the side of ENCE, and now they're going to get in the lead.
And what they need for Fnatic is support ultimates, right? Legion Gun's still away from the sound barrier. Izayaki, not quite sure if he had the Kitsune Rush in time, but certainly a difficult situation for Fnatic to be in as Checkmate goes over towards the Tracer. Starting to get towards the later parts of the map now where touching is going to be important. You want something a little bit more mobile. Double support ultimates though finally online for Fnatic, so this is the moment where they can get ahead. Kitsune
Rush going to be used first and foremost. Izayaki looking to escort them forward.
Good disengage.
Yep, disengage here from ENCE, just giving up a little bit of position here, but can now counter push back in, deny the flip from coming away. As they work themselves closer and closer to getting that 99%. Point going to be cleared out there. The flip is going to be through. 66% ticking up as the beat comes in. Back attack going to be taken down, but another barrage already built up. And Knife will fall, but Dongak able to find one. Trade back though, keeping the numbers a little bit more even here. As Vistola going to be taken low. The stops, putting them down on the ground. Perfect permanently, and that will be Fnatic winning out the extended fight.
Fnatic on 91% overall for the cap itself, and now they set a double support ultimate. So ideally for Fnatic, they won that one with a lot less ultimates. They got the Maimon barrage up, and Maimon could just go over towards the Tracer. So both teams are looking towards that Tracer, but it's just so much more to use for ENCE.
And Checkmate's dead. Maimon arrives with that Tracer and immediately finds value.
Oh,
what? Attack! Denied the beat. The Ajax coming through, forced to the hands of Knife. They're stolen out dead as the flip. Back cap coming in. ENCE will be able to gain control of the point for a brief little moment here, but it's going to go right back into the hands of Fnatic. Maimon doing his best to try to buy some time, and now needs to exit and get ready to further delay here with the rest of the squad. 99-99, Captain now going to be moving over onto the far as well as Pistola. He does have the cage, but can he get in position? Retouch coming through, but Maimon going to be run down as Donghack is able to find that kill. Rag attack down to half HP. The cage fight going to be dodged out here by Checkmate. Lockdown on the Donghack, he will fall. Knife eliminated. Pulse bomb going to be lobbed in, but it's just there onto the Malga. It's not enough damage to try to find that elimination. And now suddenly ENCE are turning the tides of this fight right back into their favor. In control, Checkmate the last one alive, and he cannot make it there in time. And ENCE can breathe a sigh of relief as this round almost got away from them, but they barely managed to clutch it out.
What you see there is My Poor Son getting a stimulus check from Kev as the Fire comes on through and saves the day for ENCE. That was nearly disastrous. An Ajax coming through, beautifully played by Lee Jae-gon, by the way, who believes Boop's rack attack further up, but my goodness, the last second swap there. Kevster comes on through, Vasolo with the beautiful cage on the Donghack. That gets rid of the tank. And once that's all said and done, the rest of the frags, it's free for Kevster to do what he does best. When ENCE needs him, when Europe needs him, Kevster delivers.
Big round victory here for the side of ENCE as we get ready to go in the night mark and see whether or not this is going to be a 2-0. Very, very close between the two squads. But the onus is now on the side of Fnatic to answer back. Checkmate digging the skies here with that Pharah.
Donghack starting out on the Orisa though, which is a little bit curious. I mean, this is actually a very diveable map. I mean, he's not going to play the Diva here, but surely a Winston or a Doom would have been preferable. We'll see if this ends up being a swap a little bit later on. Everything else, though, seems as usual for Fnatic, with Knife going down early. Not what you want.
Rockets flying down from above, just getting a smattering of damage here. Is Maimon, but it's still going to be some solid cleanup from the rest of the team. I don't even get a double on the back end of that. Want to go ahead and try to fast track another barrage. Kevster on the Tracer up to 57%. As Knife going to need to try to catch up.
I think Donghack might have assumed that Vastola's going to run out onto the Malga again, and because Vastola could have run out of Malga, he wants to have a soft Malga counter available. But now that they understand it's going to be a Diva, he understands it's ball time, it's some sort of dive character. I mentioned Diva Winston, but of course the ball is always available as well.
Swinging up into the air, and it's enough damage. He's able to isolate and pick him up. Maimon's really kind of looking away, disrespecting the Wrecking Ball, not anticipating that pitch to come through. The kill doesn't get found. Sky TPing cross, tries to get himself out to safety, but Checkmate's able to find that elimination. Roll up over the top pile, driver down, will be dodged out, but that's going to be a very fast flip here into the favor of Fnatic.
And they found the right composition they need. Knife going to be challenging Kevster here as well. Obviously no echoes on board, so Maimon versus Checkmate in the skies, and that's going to be a really critical deal. Vastola has a Diva to be able to support Maimon and put some pressure on a Checkmate. But largely, I think Donghack's going to go unchecked. There's not a lot. Kevster can chase him down. Donghack should really have minimal deaths here, and he is one of, I think, the top 2 balls in this tournament right next to Jumbin to be able to pilot this hero correctly.
Just dropping down, quick pile driver in, already up to 80% towards that minefield. Spots out Kevster, see how low that Tracer is, and wants to try to get the kill, but Kevster will be elusive enough to keep himself protected for now, but on that poke out, eating quite a bit of damage.
Ultimate's up.
Checkmate up over the top. Maimon nearly taken down as for now, and still going to be held back over towards the spawn room.
Okay.
And that's a double pulse bomb kill. Both supports cowering in the corner. Knife able to collect.
2 supports down and not a Suzu to be found. Sky must have had that one on cooldown, unfortunately, as ENCE had great timing on the ultimates. When we look at Rack and Sky versus Izayaki Lee Jae-gon. Lee Jae-gon still missing by 15% on the beat. Could have been prime time for ENCE to get that flip back in their favor, get a little bit more percentage cap. With Fnatic, how deep do they want to play? Look at Donghack's positioning. He's constantly going to be the high ground. He wants to get some flanks going, put the pressure on the back line. Sky, he wants to be on point though.
And just pushing him out in towards the open. The minefield going to be used there by Donghack. Big poop there on a Rack attack who's going to be taken low. Sound barrier is available, but first it's going to be Sky with that Kitsune rush. Pull back, coming through. Barrage going to be layered in. Looking for the elimination there on it. Lee Jae-gon can't quite find it. That was Checkmate. Will get dove on him. Still able to find that elimination here for the side of ENCE. They have gotten the flip. They're back in control. Self-destruct having to be used by Pistola just to try to get themselves back into the mech. Now Lee Jae-gon dropping the beat, but it's only for he and Izayaki and nobody else. Catching this one, but Maimon's going to be taken down as Donghack finds that kill. Izayaki headshot, gets rid of Sky. Skepster now recalling and trying to maintain control of this point and regain the lead here for the side of ENCE.
Maimonde trying to get back here as quickly as possible. I don't know if the Sombra's going to be any good, but it's about the speed. That's what matters here. Vistola demeched again. This time, no self-destruct. Hack, kill. That's actually one.
Now Virus across, does get rid of it, but the flip is still going to be back there for the side of Fnatic now, regaining the lead, moving up past 70%. 3 players dead. This is going to be a big stretch lead now for Fnatic.
Fnatic, I think they had less ultimates going into that one. They had an early death on checkmate as well. Vistola enabled the 5 versus 4, but it wasn't enough. Donghack chases down Maimonde. Rack even had a better sound barrier, but a clutch 2-man beat from Lee Jing was all Fnatic required to hold on to that point control as we head into the final fight. Now it's Check that has the barrage. Maimonde, if you can look for this hack, maybe cancel the barrage that we used for, but that is not a kill. And no Suzu.
This is having a bit of a rough time there as the pulse bomb stick does come through. Kevs are able to answer one back, but Donghack quick to reply. Finds an elimination. Maimonde now just trying to extend this, trying to get the back cap coming through. Barrage going to be used by Checkmate off screen. He'll clean up Vistola. Flip hell interrupted. The jump out, the overtime bleed down. It's a quick tap back in, but Rack Attack once again cycled into the respawn room, and this time the overtime bleeding down ever faster. As they just trade out, just constantly trying to get this touches going through, keep this thing extended, but Cavs are now going to be taken down, and Maimonde cannot make it back in time. We're going to be going the distance here on Lijiang Tower with Gardens coming up next.
Needed Vistola next, but Vistola I think was just a little bit too far away. Maimonde did the best that he could in terms of stalling out the point. Super annoying. Sombra invis touch, translocated out, can't quite afford to go and catch. Then Kefsa comes on in to extend it further, but just nothing further to play through when all you are really doing is delaying. Fnatic have the point, they have everything to play through, and this is the moment that I think really changed something here as well, because Donghack can just fly into Maimonde and solo that kill. I mean, the ball soloing a fire like that really shouldn't be a consistent thing that happens, but when you are one of the best ball players in the world, yeah, why not?
I mean, you saw it right there. I called it out. It was one of those moments where there was rockets flying in Donghack's way, but he just ignored it and said, okay, I'm going to be fine, and then he's dead.
Maimonde's actually going to stay on the Sombra, not just the final touching hero for the last round, but a permanent swap now as
can play against
I believe this is the hacked versus Donghack, but is it really going to be effectiveness? I don't think that that's how you want to be able to play this, because now Checkmate goes a little bit more unchecked.
Seeing if they're going to be able to make this one work. For now, Donghack shrugging off that opening hack there. Kevster putting it down a bit of damage. Just have that Mega Pack to play around with as well. His point gets unlocked, and Fnatic starts setting their sights over here. Trying to get that initial lockdown.
Point is open. Knife fairly low at this point. Neither team kind of getting ahead in terms of ultimate charge. Sky burning the TP could be a target here. Checkmate down, but it is traded. Yeah,
Maimonde able to find one, but I think he'll take the trade up, and now Legion gone dead. It's going to be a 2 for 2 across the board here with Izayaki down very low on HP.
Chased, hunted.
Yep, does end up falling. Kevs are able to find that elimination. Pulse bomb has to be online here for him. Knife nipping at the heels, trying to get one of his own. But so far, still no lockdown to be found here on this point. Hound down onto both of the Tracers as we can just continue to go blow for blow here between both the squads. Of course, Donghack able to rejoin very quickly. Look to try to zone them back out, but Vizola crashing through, takes out Checkmate far now out of the sky. Crash across from Donghack, but no elimination is going to be found. Can't send anybody off the side of the map and cannot maintain his life.
Critical that Vistola was able to, or rather, Kevster was able to get the kill to Izayaki a little bit later on, as Izayaki was on 1 HP. If Fnatic can get a 3v3 going a little bit more, perhaps they could have won. We also did see, by the way, Hack onto Checkmate, onto the fire, allowing Vistola to get the kill. Checkmate's like, okay, maybe I don't want to deal with this one. Maybe the combination of Hack and D.Va is a little bit too much to deal with. It's going to be the Mei. Mine's available, but no other real ultimates. It's ENCE that have all the cards to play with.
Minefield going to be coming through. Hack is there on the Donghack, but just tucks back behind the pillar. Looking for the flip.
That's
Stick
good.
going through. Rack Attack again. Being found here
Suzu.
by Knife. Just continuously putting him down. Can't play around the Mega Pack. See, just trying to make his exit here is Knife, but eventually will be hounded down as Kevin finds that kill, but then he just moves right up into a mine. Gives up his life. Checkmate will fall, however. Vistola able to find that kill. Knocked out of the mech, but has a self-destruct.
He's thinking about ulting.
Space going to be created here. Gets back into the mech. And so far, it still ends maintaining control of this point. Now getting ready to crest up over 50%. Sound barrier dropped in from Rack Attack. Keeps him shielded up as Donghack trying to stay alive. Goes back in, now going to be receiving that EMP. Lee Jae-gon drops the beat on the back end of this one, and now the turnaround is looking good here for the side of Fnatic as they gain control of the point. Sky and Rack Attack both going to be taken down. Maimonde joining them in the grave. Pile driver cannot come to fruition, but they still get the break on the mech.
And now Vistola off the side of the map. Tries to get a kill with the baby D.Va. Just jump off, buddy. This is not going to work out for you. ENCE don't still have 55 to the 12. So excellent lead coming through. They had the better ultimates. They had more ultimates. And for Fnatic, Had to try really hard to bring that one around. Patience shown by Lee Jae-gon. Hold the sound barrier for the EMP, so Maimon can't get enough effectiveness on that. And now Vastola goes over towards Amalga. No more Pharah to try and counter with the Diva. Why not just counter the ball now?
Two tools to try to really contain Donghak here. Blizzard available now for checkmate. Certainly mess things up a little bit, but we're trading places. ENCE kind of just swing around. Managed to get the way over onto the point. Now Onus is on Fnatic to try to maintain control, but Knife is going to be taken down right off the rip. That pulse bomb not going to be seen quite just yet. Speaking of which, though, Kevster holding on to one of his own, but somehow Lee Jae-gon actually stays alive. Looked like he was dead to rights.
Yeah, just barely. My mom probably had the TP out of that situation. Fnatic, they have a couple ultimates, but they had to let the point go. Knife going down early. They have mines, they have Blizzard, but can they catch anybody? That's the problem. There's still a lot to be played through for ENCE. It is difficult to lock them down.
Minefield going to be dropped in, and Rakitek going to be taken down. Goes right into that one. Now pulls bomb across onto Vastola, trying to break down this Malga. And the healing throughput from Sky is just not going to be enough to actually bail him out. So Flip can come back in, but ENCE, with that control, they get themselves up over 80%. Looking for a little bit of added extension from Kevster. Will eventually fall, but it's going to be Fnatic now starting at 50.
It's Fnatic. They keep shoving the knife into Rakitek, and Lucio's down consistently throughout this map so far. Sky needs to do a really good job of trying to keep. Needs to do a better job of trying to keep Rakitek alive, especially through the pulse bombs. And they still have good ultimates, but how does Maimon just get sniped? That's incredible.
Just a headshot coming across from checkmate to be able to find that elimination. Pulse bomb stick does go out onto Donghak, and Kevster can find that elimination. That could be critical here for them.
Sky, oh
Rush
my
going to be
goodness.
invested now. They're going to just slap down the Blizzard here in the side room. We're not even fighting on the point. Point be damned. Now they're chasing them back over towards the dropship.
They need a fast reset. They need a fast reset because there's one more fight and still have better ultimates. You cannot afford to just get picked out. You can't let checkmate just double dink you in the head again. They have just about everything online minus the pulse, but you won't need the pulse, but it's everything else that's going to be good. Vastola, especially the cage, will be excellent. He has to catch.
Lead is gained from Fnatic, but ENCE once more getting themselves over onto the point. The EMP online. Sound barrier already committed to. The flip is there. ENCE back in control, ready to take this one up to 99%. Knife with the pulse bomb, needing to find a target. Sky, he's got the Kitsune Rush ready to go. Now he's going to be hopping at the EMP, comes through the cage fight as well. Going to be invested in Donghak, just cannot stay alive. He gets taken down swiftly, as is Lee Jae-gon, and it looks like this round going to be getting away from Fnatic as ENCE put their foot down. They go ahead and strangle them out of this map. Nothing further to be done here by Knife. Donghak cannot get there in time, and ENCE will take I was going to say Lee Jae-gon Tower. Lijiang Tower, 2-1.
Got the first one done, but a lot of scrapes and bruises. That was not easy, particularly for the back line. So much pressure coming through from the diving power of Donghak and the rest of Fnatic. And that is just but a teaser for what we will expect on future matches, because guess what? The Winston from Donghak yet to be seen. The Doom, especially, which costed SSG their game yesterday, yet to be seen. You got past the ball. That one was easier to counter. The Malgo comes through from the solid. Great pick. Donghak doesn't respond. He stays on the ball. Perhaps that ends up being the punishment for Fnatic. They have to really consider how they're going to navigate through some of these picks versus Assault in the future. But for now, ENCE, they get that lead.
Yeah, plenty more to think about, but that's a solid first step here for ENCE. But if that opening map has shown us anything, it's that this is likely going to be a very scrappy back and forth series. So let's go ahead and hand it back down to the studio to break down the action from our opening map of the set.
A very exciting opening map here in the best of 7. We knew we were going to Lijiang Tower. We were wondering what comps we were going to see. And Donghak brings out the ball. He showcased his skill in that second round, but it looked like you saw ENCE adapting throughout this matchup. So, Jake, what did you see?
You know, I like that ENCE relied on their strengths when it comes to the tank picks. I think Vastola was great on the Diva. The Malga swap to close out the final round was well done. But honestly, I think Fnatic is kicking themselves. I think they could have won this first round. I think they had their opportunities, and they let them slip through their fingers. On the side of ENCE, I can't help but feel that Rakitek is getting kind of eaten up here. I mean, he is really taking a lot of heat. Fnatic focusing him, and he is not surviving well. Donghak's ball, I think, is going to continue to be an asset throughout the series. So, although ENCE comes away with the win here, I can't help but feel that this is going to be an extremely close game. It's going to be heroics from Kevster to get this one done.
Rakitek filling in for the team this weekend, and of course, we know that the Fnatic boys have quite a bit of experience with dialing in on an individual. So will he be targeted moving forward? Can you just wipe the Lucio at the start of every team fight, McGravy?
You can, but you can also game plan that around that. If you know that they're going for the Lucio every fight, you can game plan around that. If Rack Attack and the team is able to adapt, you can put him in the back line, and they don't know what to do. If he's so far away and they continue to go for him and they don't adapt, it's really easy to beat team fights like that. What I'm really worried about is I'm worried that Fnatic is going to steer away from this Maga comp, but I actually think that that style of play is something that they should continue to go for against ENCE. I think just losing one Koth round, they shouldn't shy away from it. It looks like they kind of were towards the end there, going towards the ball.
Jake, if you're Fnatic, you know you're picking the map next. You know you get to do the first ban. Who are you trying to shut down on the other side for ENCE? Can you just remove Tracer?
I don't think there's any point banning out Kevster's heroes. I wouldn't even be looking at that. I think he's just going to swap to something else. And for Fnatic, they also have a great Tracer. Knife had a sick round 1 there on Li Jiang. I mean, it was pulse bomb after pulse bomb. So consistent. So for me, I think it's Vistola you got to target. That's the real difference between these two teams, is their preference on the tank lineup. I think if you take out Vistola's Diva or Sigma on maps that he might otherwise want to use those heroes, Donghak could really differentiate himself.
All right, where can I not play a Sigma if I ban Diva?
Not play a Sigma. Potentially, I'm surprised I haven't seen Hollywood. Hollywood has the potential on the first point to play the Sigma, but I think the rest of the map, you're kind of more open in what you want to play. I'm really surprised I haven't seen teams play it more, and if they do pick a hybrid, I'd be interested to see if Fnatic takes it there.
It's a best of 7 reminder. Once we go through all 5 of these game modes, they reopen up for game 6 and 7. We only got the 4 games in our first matchup, but Jake, I have a feeling this one's going to be a little bit longer. So if you're Fnatic, you got hybrid, escort, push, and flashpoint to choose from. They didn't pick the ones we thought they should yesterday. What do you expect, though, for game number 2?
If I were Fate right now making this pick, I would take us to Dorado and I would be banning out Diva. I think that's going to force us to a really awkward situation for ENCE. I actually don't know what they can do in that scenario. Might be Vistola forced to play a Winston, which is, I think, just definitely outside of his wheelhouse. And for me, that would put Fnatic in the driver's seat in the series. At the same time, an escort pick would block out Circuit Royale for the moment, which is, I think, one of Vistola's biggest strengths in the poke mirror on Sigma. So for me, there's no second option.
McGrave, you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm absolutely in agreement. I think right now you need a win. And I think take him to a dive map where you can take Vistola off as probably his best character. I think it's just a no-brainer to me.
Vistola on Diva, something we've seen since the start of the weekend. The question is, what is the decision made by the coaches? We still got about a minute here before we get back into the Kadia Arena. So, Jake, let's tell the bigger picture here. How did ENCE get to this position? How did Fnatic get here into the round of 12?
Yeah, ENCE qualifying to the World Cup, consistently being second best in Europe. I think this is for them the opportunity to establish themselves on top of the region and potentially in a competitive place globally. On the flip side, Fnatic 4th place out of Korea, not having the chance to compete in an international event. For them, this is an opportunity to stake their claim, show that they are a team that can be globally dominant, can face off against other regions. Yes, they had a rocky start early in the group stage, but I think if they find their footing, McGravy, I liked you called out, those Malga comps can be strong for them. Donghak on the Winston, Ball, the Doom, the dives can be fantastic for Fnatic. And I think if they can find the way with the bans and the map picks to stay on those strengths, they can be a serious competitor. They could be knocking ENCE out here.
Well, I see a Doomfist at all on Dorado if they pick it, McGravy.
I think you could potentially see a Doomfist if for some reason ENCE had pulled out maybe a slower style like Sigma, but still I would just anticipate the Winston. I don't know on Dorado, for example, I would see a Doomfist. Potentially as I was going back to Hollywood, we've seen it before. Wrecking Ball is definitely something we could see. Maybe if ENCE went for maybe like a greedier support line, like maybe for whatever reason we see Rackball at the Life Weaver. But other than that, like again, if we go to Dorado, I just don't see a reason, unless it's banned, to not play Winston.
I was just wondering, because if they do go to Dorado, is it a good decision to swap out Donghak for Attack? Because this team has 2 tanks to play with. Attack, though, being a rookie, has shown some nerves on stage.
I think if you are taking us to a dive map, you do want to ban Diva. I think you want to create this scenario where, you know, while Fnatic can play any kind of tank, they have no problem playing Winston. If you take Diva out of the lineup, I think Vistola is a much weaker player without that option in the dive comp. That's really his bread and butter dive hero. He's fantastic on it, but the ban system allows you to control the narrative on Dorado. The danger, though, is if you go to Dorado, you're almost certainly going to be facing Kai on the Widowmaker. That's a place many teams have struggled, have fallen. Kai has taken over Dorado time and time again. He might not be getting as much playtime in this meta, but you better believe he is ready to pop heads.
If you're a Donghak fan for Fnatic, I have great news. There's no substitutions coming in. We're going to be playing with the same exact 10 players on the stage. So walk me through this, McGravy. who has the stronger DPS lineup, knowing that we could see an escort map coming through?
Oh, man, it's tough to say. I think Kai on the Widowmaker is a big shout. And in turn, I think you talking about the Wrecking Ball is also a big difference maker there. I don't think a lot of teams will play the Wrecking Ball versus a Widowmaker, so that might also shut down Kai if they do choose to bring Kai in, is that Wrecking Ball, because Donghack has been insane on that so
Jake?
far.
I mean, with Kai not coming in, I have to think that I was wrong. I think if you did go to Dorado, I would expect to see Kai coming in. So if ENCE not making any subs, that says to me that Fnatic has gone a different direction, maybe keeping those escort picks in their back pocket. I think that could be a mistake because they might end up playing Circuit Royale against Vistola on Sigma, but maybe they're confident, believe that Attack can take that mirror matchup, not so afraid.
Well, let's send it over to the Kadia Arena for map number 2 as the bans keep coming through. Fnatic gets the chance to hero ban first. McGravy, you are fate. D.Va, not right away, right?
Oh, man, it's so hard to say. I do think you need a win now. We'll have to see what the map is, and then it'll really show us where they're thinking. Where are they taking us? Where are they taking us?
Where are Fate and Flood feeling comfortable?
Suravasa. So I think for me, that shows for Fnatic that they want to stick with that fast pace, as I was saying earlier. I don't want to shy. If I'm Fate, I do not want to shy away from playing fast. That Control Center Li Jiang, I think that was very close. That should have been their win, and I really appreciate Fate sticking to his guns.
Hero banned, no Mauga.
Super interesting because it's going to be a big change-up on a map where I would have thought they're going to bring out the Mauga. By banning it, though, you could take this into more of a Winston dive situation. The trouble is, you are going to be probably facing off against Vistola's D.Va. Can Donghack get it done with a Winston, a Doom, a Ball? What's he cooking here?
Vistola did not look bothered by that ban. On the other side, no Brigitte, please. I'm not getting bashed in this matchup. Walk me through the potential for both of these teams, McGravy. Tell me the story of a Game 7. How does Fnatic win it?
I think Fnatic has, after taking the Mog out, I think they have to stick to a Doomfist or a Ball there. I think with the no Brig, it'll be hard to play that Winston composition, but we'll have to see.
Game is set. Players are ready. Let's take a look at the map and get this party started. Casters, take it away as the players are set. Here we go.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Let's get ready to hop into this one and see if this is going to be another one-sided affair, if ENCE can move up with a 2-0, or if Fnatic, with their pick with these bans, are going to be able to tie things up.
I'm in full agreement with the JK. I think Dorado would have been a much better pick, especially since we know that ENCE like to take things to Shambali. So if this win goes to Fnatic here, I fully expect the Shambali to come through next. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why do Fnatic keep doing this? Why they go to Suravasa and New Junk Cities? If you've seen them play in Asia when they were still Yeti, they always like to go Flashpoint if they lose map 1. Their opening map drafting seems to just be the Flashpoints, whether it's Suravasa or New Junk City. I've seen them go Suravasa more. They want to get one on the board. They want one of their favorite maps to get on the board. The problem is, you start losing from here, you start losing some of your very good map picks that should be good for you. You got rid of the Mauga, you're forcing the solo onto the D.Va. Dong, I think you should look at towards the Winston or the Doom here. They want to go Ball again. I'm not as much of a Ball believer on this map as I am against, you know, his other picks that he could be picking instead.
Oh, looks like it's just going to be that Ball coming through. That's going to be the key difference here between the compositions. Otherwise, we are going to be mirrored up.
And the Brig ban also means, obviously, no Brig Anna to come on through. So, Lucio Kiri going to be the pick for both sides. It's going to be an outside fight, actually, so not even on the point itself. Kind of rare.
Forward push here from the side of Fnatic, looking to try to take the final, outdoors. Slows up the approach, but Flashpoint now getting ready to unlock and see who's going to be able to lock this one down first and foremost, as Donghack just crashing through into the back, popping that shield. Plenty of health, but widely damage not going to be found too, at least not too much of it going to be found here, but yeah, Cap getting ready to come through. Contest comes in for a brief little moment. Now Fnatic are going to be in control.
Vistola nearly being down 1 HP, basically. Donghack 1 HP himself. No such healing, has to get out of dodge. A D-Mac and Vistola would have been tragic there, especially since Fnatic already got the cap it. It's the opening damage, it's Kevser and Knife so far that lead the way.
I mean, it is, but the supports here for the side of ENCE are surging forward. You see just how far behind right now Izayaki and Li Jiang both are.
Well, they've had no Donghack to heal. That's the problem.
Oh, Izayaki now going to be taken down for the delay as Kevster comes up with another. Checkmate going to be eliminated. That's going to be a counter flip now starting to come through here from ENCE. Li Jiang diving forward, trying to get an interrupt on this one, finds himself in a corner. And Sky finds the punish. So kills come across. Fnatic lose control, but they get up to 57.
I mean, that's the worst case scenario it could economically, however, for Fnatic, despite being up 57, they just don't have the ultimates to play through. The reason why Rakatak and Sky have ult and EasyAki DJ on Don't is Vastola gets chunked down, doesn't get demeched, all of that healing goes to their supports. Dongak gets chunked down, he goes for health packs around the map. Healing does not go to his supports. That's a huge difference maker in terms of the pacing of the ults, and now ENCE can slowly catch up. They're likely to win the next fight and push this to 99.
Minefield up here over the top. Donghak trying to just lock down this point, but widely ENCE playing off of it, looking for that kill, and that's going to be the pulse bomb going across. Kevster able to open things up. Dupe in from Checkmate, copying here onto the Tracer, builds up the pulse, but can't quite get it through, and now going to be taken down as Maimon able to find one. Rakatak will be traded out. Knife continuing to have his number, stops the sound barrier from coming through, but ENCE now in control and moving up. They have the lead significantly.
And this time the kill onto Rakatak, not that impactful. I mean, he's a Lucio, he'll get back in time. Checkmate's even got to go towards a Sombra, so the second time we've seen a Sombra this series, but this time for Fnatic, I don't know if this is going to be really the best pick. Are you really trying to hack here? Maybe Kevster or Maimon.
It's been spotted out though. A little linger play not going to be coming to fruition. It's EasyAki taken down right as he gets the ult online. Vastola able to pursue forward, finds that kill. Vastola eats up the pulse bomb, denies it away. Lee Jae-gon dead. This opening flashpoint is over.
Lee Jae-gon didn't even find a sound barrier through all of that 94%. EasyAki gets the Kitsuna rush eventually, but didn't get to use it. So pacing-wise, Fnatic, yeah, they got the early 57, but it just did not matter. They could not break ENCE's hold once they got on the point themselves, and ENCE didn't even have to use their own sound barrier. So yeah, Rakatak is like, okay, I'll go down a knife, but we get to keep the sound barrier, and it doesn't really matter. Unimpactful death.
Yep. Just holds onto it. Sky as well, getting caught up, 40% away from being able to start lapping EasyAki.
Fnatic should be at a double support advantage here, but they're only at a one support advantage, which is going to be enough. Dongak gets to the point, maybe not yet actually. It's going to be the Kitsuna rush first.
Yep. Opened up there from EasyAki. Nothing in response quite just yet, but EasyAki does find a headshot. Kevs are going to be taken down. Solid opening kills. Fnatic will once again gain control to start things off here on the second flashpoint. Donghak chasing forward.
Big slam.
Pile driver going to be denied there by the Suzu out from Sky. Now sound barrier going to be dropped in from Rakatak. Shields up on the floor. They want to try to counter punch here. And Lee Jae-gon does have his own beat. Self-destruct going to be sent from Vastola. Maimon going to be taken down. Remech will be bound, but Vastola is immediately going to be broken down to this one again. And this time Fnatic have a solid follow-up fight off the back of the cap.
And this is after capping the point first as well. So the difference maker here is beforehand on that first point of market, they cap it, then they lose here. They cap and they win. So we're going to see a lot more than the 57 from before. Brilliantly played, forcing the sound barrier early from Rakatak, and Lee Jae-gon responds. Huge amounts of pressure on Vastola. Suzu gone early from a beautiful power driver on Donghak. That's exactly the type of utility you need to get rid of on ENCE if you're Fnatic trying to win.
Donghak still just having fun, swinging around the pillars here, trying to set up for any kind of damage he possibly can. And just widely try to keep ENCE away from the point as long as they possibly can. It's the dupe now. Checkmate going for the copy onto this Diva. Donghak getting whittled away at. It's off screen. You can see that HP bar continuing to go lower and lower. Gets a little bit of shielding as the heals will start coming through, and he will be able to find some stability. But now 98% found. First touch of the point realistically here for the side of ENCE. His pulse bomb goes down. A knife once again finds Rakatak. How many times has he killed him in the series so far?
Sky couldn't find the Suzu. Self-Suzu didn't know where Rakatak exactly was. Still 4v4 though. Not that bad for ENCE. They have better ultimates. They get the kill. And they got the flip.
Yep, flip is there. Dupe out, just dropping a minefield for a brief little moment, but Maimon right back into that echo form, has the beam. That's going to be Knife falling. So in control here is ENCE for the time being, but Fnatic about to have that next Kitsune rush ready to go. Yep. Already settled at 99.
I will say that the one bad thing about Rak getting a pulse there is the fact that he doesn't get to build ultimate, so he should be about 15% further ahead right now. You really want to have that sound barrier up in time to block EasyAki's Kitsuna rush, otherwise things are going to get really difficult. Vastola and Kev can only do so much. Speaking of Kev, might need a pulse bomb to save them now, assuming EasyAki doesn't Suzu.
Ball driver into the back. Attack again, looking like the focus fire target here, but 10% away, now 8 from that next sound barrier. EasyAki opens things up, the flip is back into their favor. Now overtime going to start bleeding down. And trying to see if they can turn things here as the D-Matrix from Vastola is absolutely everything. They're trying to keep Rakatak protected. Sound barrier comes in, but not before Maimon gets taken down. Checkmate is able to find that kill. Minefield now here on the point, looking to just zone them away. Vastola moving forward, can clear out some of this as he does have that self-destruct ready to go.
Let's go B.
Sky taking some damage. Self-destruct going to be sent right here onto the point to try to clear them out. The Baby Diva going to be denied. Sky also falls, and it looks like with that final kill here on a rack attack. Fnatic should be evening things up, and they will. Tied 1-1.
That's just a timing difference there. Easyaki having the Katsuna rush, rack attack still kind of missing out on the beat, barely getting one down, pocketed by the defense matrix of Vistola, and even then only a 3-man, which unfortunately is not going to be enough to stop Fnatic. Lijigon even holding his own sound barrier. The discipline there for Fnatic, knowing, okay, we're going to win this one. It doesn't matter. Vistola's not even going to remake, courtesy of checkmate. And now holding that for a tempo beat or just a counter Sky for the 3rd point.
Once again, I mean, lots of fights just not even happening here with them.
Oh,
the points themselves,
Sky
that
OTP.
pile driver just absolutely annihilates them. Solid pulse bomb from Kevster will be able to take down checkmate, but the rest of the team relatively healthy here. And there's the stick.
Knife.
There's the kill. Knife able to find Kevster. Vistola going to be taken out of the mag. Knife clearly showing up to play here today. He's been finding regular impact here for the team thus far, even with the map loss earlier on. But Fnatic now, they want to go ahead and equalize. They want to take the lead here on Saravasa.
And this is what you need if you're Fnatic, because you have to equalize on certain positions. You cannot have these kind of losing positions where Kevster just takes over the game. So Knife showing his dominance there, can actually contest Kevster as Dongak. There's a pretty big slam here. Could be some members in trouble. Sky down again.
And Suzu's forced out. The Lijigon will give his life for that one as the Duke comes in on the Tracer here from Maimon, but then the Lucio from checkmate. The rack attack will still fall all the same, though. Pulse bomb going to be built up. I'm trying to find a target here where possible, but might just lose out on this Duke. Turns the sights over. Wants to try to find Donghack, but sprints over into the corner, keeps himself protected. Minefield now going to be invested. As I'm going to be kept at an arm's length. That beam, it would have been able to find the kill here onto the enemy. Hammond, but can't quite make it happen.
Not a bad force. I mean, Dongak probably didn't need to actually go for the mindset, but he goes for it anyway. Maimon dying is not ideal.
No, it is not. And that's going to be the Katsuna rush committed here from both sides. And Sky himself also tagged low. Pistola going to be knocked out of the mech. Opts to go for that self-destruct. Needs to try to get back into this one, but Sky now has been taken down. And this is just going to be a slaughter. One side here for the side of Fnatic as they look for this tie-up, or rather the lead.
I mean, the hesitation for rack attack, I think you got to go for the big. Sky was still alive for several seconds. You have a 5-man potential for a retake situation there. But the fact that the beat was not used means ENCE, you have to give it up. Now it's 2-1. Worse still is Vistola. D-Mech is going to have to go back to spawn. Do a little bit of a swap, loses ult charge. And now Fnatic 2-1 on Saravasa on this flashpoint. Lijigon looking over towards the beat as well. ENCE giving up the last point there. Might have to rethink it.
Yeah, well, not much loss, at least for Vistola. That's the silver lining found, given that the self-destruct was just used. And now, beat v beat, Izayaki with a lead towards the next Kitsune rush. Sound barrier going to be used. They're looking for the tempo push up here. Try to get aggressive. Lob in on the pulse bomb this time. Rack attack able to avoid that one. Shielding going to be taken away, and checkmate ends up falling. Izayaki under some fire off screen, but Donghack able to find a kill. A Sky is going to be the one getting taken down.
Maimon low here. Donghack with a double. He's just running rounds and rounds around ENCE. And at this point, points about to go the way of Fnatic. Again, they will once again have this lead. Vistola cannot do enough on his lonesome. In fact, he might get demicked again if he's not careful here.
Does manage to sneak his way out, but was trying to pursue forward, trying to get rid of Lee Jae-gon, but he does manage to survive. Donghack continues to push the issue. Yep, deep mines coming in, just shrugging off those sticky bombs now. Just looking to reroute, crash across, pushes them back here into the corner of Vistola. Will lose at the back now this time around.
Dead as well. At least he won't be staggered.
Kevster taking away the mega pack, but can't confirm the kill. Can't get rid of Donghack, that window of opportunity that he was so desperately looking for.
Ball's faster. The ball is faster. You can't chase them down. You have a limited amount of window of opportunity. 3 blinks and that's it. And this is the difficulty of killing the ball. You simply can't in certain situations. As you look towards Katsuna Rush for Izayaki to extend this one further. Remember, last round potentially if ENCE don't bring this one back.
Donghack's just playing like a madman. Down to half HP, maybe punishable now. Is Maimon going to be good? Diving into the back line, looking for Izayaki, but it's going to be a quick little swift step away, and now the Katsuna Rush going to be invested as Lee Jae-gon falling low, but shield pop from Donghack keeps himself nice and healthy. Back going to be dead as Knife comes up with both supports. Lee Jae-gon will fall, but Kevster needs to try to replicate those scenes we just got here from Knife, but now Knife finds the Baby Diva. Self-destruct from Vistola is able to take down checkmate, so a bit of a fight back here for the side of ENCE, but overtime is achieved, and Fnatic start having this ticking down. Push forward, Maimon in desperation, pushing his way onto the point, trying to keep things extended, trying to keep them in with an opportunity, but Knife collects another 3 kills. Overtime will bleed down, and that's going to be Fnatic's map pick working a treat. They claim Saravasa, and they tie us up 1-1.
Fnatic, masterclass Tracer gameplay coming through for Knife, as is the ball on Donghack, and now Saravasa, the flashpoint pick, it pays off. Brilliant stuff from Fnatic. It does open up Escort for the future map. Shambali probably going to come on through, but the most important thing here to remember is Kevster has met his match. This is super important. A lot of teams, especially in Europe, but also at this tournament, cannot keep up with Kevster's Tracer. That's the most hyper carry position and hero for the best player on ENCE. But if Knife can do this consistently, then what can ENCE do in response? Because, I'm not gonna lie to you, Rack Attack Sky on a respawn simulator.
Yeah, I mean, just a masterclass, as you said. Knife coming out swinging. I mean, this is a really rough start on that Saravasa. It was looking like, okay, the momentum, it's not there. ENCE, they have the advantage, they have the upper hand, but the response from Fnatic, finding their footing, Knife just starting to really dominate, and Donghack never being punished, always having free reign. It was gorgeous to see from Fnatic.
It's super hard to punish him. What are you supposed to do? Maimon going back over to the Sombra? I mean, it's a possibility, but then you lose the capability of playing the Echo. How do you really checkmate? That becomes another problem there as well. Really, it just comes down to the fact that Easyaki and Lee Jagon were not under as much pressure as Rack Attack and Sky, and part of the reason why we saw even the opening round win on market being the difference for ENCE and winning that is because Easyaki and Lee Jagon were behind, but for the rest of the map, they were not behind, they were ahead.
No, they were not. Well, we're all tied up 1-1. Analyst Desk, what do you make of that?
I'll be honest, this is what we were hoping for. We were hoping for a long series and a tight one as Fnatic is able to pull out their map pick. Jake, at the start of this, you were questioning it. You're like, I don't know if these are the right hero bans, the right map choice early on in this series. We will see Escort later on, but it's not necessarily going to be Fnatic choosing it.
You know, Fnatic do take the win here on Flashpoint, and I think they are right to say, you know what, we will win with ball against D.Va. We know that you need the Mauga to shut down our ball, take that off the field, and we're going to win Flashpoint. And so, yes, it's good they do secure the win. However, for my money, I do think now you have to worry, like for ENCE, there's an opportunity to take us to Circuit Royale. Two big guns come on the field. That's Vistola Sigma and Kai on the Widowmaker. Huge assets for the team, very much in their comfort zone, in their wheelhouse. And so I think they may live to regret the choice to not take Escort there with the map pick, but the series is 1-1. There is attack on the bench, a superstar rookie for Fnatic, so maybe they're not scared of that poke matchup.
We heard the casters talking, should have dropped the beat on point 3. You agree with that, McGravy? Is that where ENCE fell short?
Oh man, not just that, there's tons of times. I think fundamentally what's going wrong right now is that Donghack has pulled out that Wrecking Ball, and I think ENCE's backline just has no answer, and it's specifically Rack Attack. I think the Lucio has a lot of counterplay that you can have with the ball. You can wall ride to avoid the slams. You can boop him to slow down his momentum. There's just not a lot of that happening right now.
I think Rack Attack's just not ready for the pace, the tempo of Korean Overwatch, right? Until you've played against these superstar Korean teams and you see the pace that they bring into the server, if you're not ready for that, you're gonna just get wiped off the face of the earth. Even with players like Kevster delivering a lot of kills, they're not closing out these fights, and the ball, the Tracer, the Echo, they are back so fast into the action. You got players like Lee Jae-gun and Izayaki. If you don't pressure these guys, they're going to start getting proactive on you, and suddenly the backline is on top of you, and that's when you know things have really gone awry.
Not a whole lot of main supports to choose from in North America. In fact, North America, not the best place to practice, apparently, either. But we do have to mention one player who seems to be at the top of his game. Kevster, considered one of the greatest of all time, one of the most exciting tracers. But Knife comes in sharpened today. Jake, talk to me a little bit about the Tracer for Fnatic.
You know, it's awesome to see Knife have his day in the sun. This guy came into the Paris Eternal, tried to basically one-man army, solo carry that team, and yet it wasn't enough. He was playing on 200 ping, long suffering. He's found his spot, and he is an absolute monster on land, on Tracer. He is going toe-to-toe with Kevster, and at times, even coming out on top, and that is a ridiculous achievement for Knife to be battling one of the best Tracers in the world, and for things to be going his way. I mean, he dropped a pulse onto Kevster. In the Tracer v Tracer mirror, there is no stronger statement.
Doesn't happen that often. Great to see it here as we are opening up our playoffs in the round of 12. McGravy, we just saw a shot of Kevster there. He doesn't look shook. He looks focused in on a game 3. Do you expect more Tracer? Is he eventually going to have to flex to other heroes?
I think he will eventually flex, potentially when Kai comes in for potentially the Ashe or the Widow. Maybe he plays the Pharah to kind of match with it, kind of match that style. But I think anytime Tracer's available, Kevster's going to do his best to stay on it. I don't think he is absolutely not worried about Knife. Knife is absolutely dominating the server, but Kevster is Kevster. And not that the man lacks emotions, but he is cool. He is not phased at all.
He's a bit Swedish.
Bit Swedish.
A little bit.
Unflappable.
There is a look at our two tracers as Kevster is going toe-to-toe against Knife. And let's talk a little bit about the rest of the team. Clearly, there is a support advantage here for Fnatic. They've been playing together much longer than what you have as the fill-in here with Rack Attack on the other side of this matchup. So talk to me a little bit about what else we need to see. Is this up to the tanks? Or is it solely on the DPS if you're going to take this game 3?
Honestly, I think the pressure is on the coaching staff for both teams. Make the decisions because it's clear stylistically when Fnatic has the ball out, they are monstrous on these fast dive comps. They are just punishing. But I think if ENCE can slow the game down, and if it becomes more about DPS, allowing Kevster, maybe even Kai coming in on the hit scan to shine, put a map where, you know, you're not going to be playing the Wrecking Ball, give Vistola a chance on the Sigma, we could see this game look very different. And honestly, I think slowing things down would favor ENCE at this point in the series.
All right, McGravy, let's put on our coaching hat once again. I think you're permanently wearing yours, but walk me through this because you are now on ENCE's team. You are ENCE's coach. What are you thinking? Do we need to slow down Donghack? Do you just play your own game? What's the plan?
I am in agreement with Jake. I think you need to take it to a slower map, potentially an escort or something of that style, and I think you need to give your backline a little bit of a breather. Maybe you potentially target Donghack's ball. You just, any chance you give your backline just a little bit of a confidence boost right now, because you take it to another fast map and they lose the ball again, it's going to shatter their confidence.
Jake, we talked about Fnatic wanting Dorado. Do you choose an escort right now if you're ENCE to make sure Dorado isn't in this best of 7?
If I was coaching, I would be going straight to Circuit, and I might be banning a hero that allows a potential dive or a rush style to come in. Maybe ban that Ana just so you don't have to worry about some kind of Nano Genji shenanigans. Winston dives coming in and, you know, bring attack into the server. Donghack, I think, has been looking great. Maybe put him on the bench, slow him down a little bit. If attack comes out, maybe that rookie weakness can come in. Vistola has taken down very strong opponents in the Sigma mirror. And if I'm the coach's friends right now, I'm going to push my chips into the middle, trusting that Vistola can do it again here on the big stage.
I like that call out in. McGravy, you are nodding in agreement here. How do you see this playing out?
There are a lot of levers that Crimzo can pull, and it's really up to him and up for the team to decide like what they are most confident in. Obviously, like we were saying, the backline was having some struggles. Obviously, you can slow it down, you can change it up, you can ban it. Bringing in attack, I think, is probably a big boon, I think, for ENCE. I think you want to switch it up. I think Donghack, I think Fnatic has shown they want to stick with that style. They want to stick with him. So I think potentially taking it to a Circuit Royale and getting attacking is something they're looking to do.
They've been finding success with Donghack in the lineup for Fnatic. We'll see, though, what substitutions will be made on this stage as both teams are getting set for game number 3. And this is ENCE's first opportunity to not only pick a map, but also the first team to ban. So let's take a look at what is going on here as the ENCE lineup features Kai, it looks like, coming into this next one. You mentioned it. Kai might be our sniper. Will we see him popping off with a Widowmaker?
Yeah, I think this potentially leans towards an escort pick. Yeah, I think now you'll see, you're talking about Kevster potentially getting off the Tracer. You can still play the Tracer on some of these maps. Maybe on Circuit Royale, they opt to go for that super slow, spam heavy, make Fnatic think a lot, play the Widowmaker, play the Pharah, make them make all of the decisions. I think that might be what they're looking to do.
Pharah?
I think the Pharah is good if you want to slow things down into a spammier style. However, I do think there's an option, even if you are in a Sigma mirror. At the highest level, we've seen the Brig Genji really come in, and although you're playing a spammy Sigma comp, that Brig Genji unlocks a lot of aggressive potential. And I think a player like Kevster on the Genji really can be a place you can differentiate yourself. Even though it's slowed down to a poke mirror, Kai on the Widow, Kevster on something faster and more aggressive to create space. For me, that's the direction I'd go, but I just like that we've seen Kai in. For me, that signals we are going to a slower map. There's a few options about where exactly it could be. You know, maybe some of the push maps can favor a slow style. I personally would love to see Circuit, though.
And it sounds like we're going to have another swap. Mirror is coming in for Rack Attack. We know Mirror can play every role possible, so what do you expect to see him on? He's most likely playing a support, I assume. So which one?
Yeah, this is a breather of a different variation, I think. I think you take Rack Attack out, and frankly, he's been a problem. And again, it's not a ton of flame towards Rack Attack. This is a tough situation to be in, and to a new team. And this is a caliber play, like you said, the Korean pressure. That is just something he's not used to playing in North America. I think Mirror, it seems like almost exclusively to have him coming in for the Alari. He was supposed to be the kind of fill-all role player, but it seems like they've kind of focused on his support play.
So if he's the Alari, does that mean you have to waste your ban on a support to protect him?
You know, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, maybe actually ban out the Brig. As much as I said that fast out could be good, I think with Mirror in, you do want to make it a double flex support comp where his aim, I mean, his individual mechanics on the Allari are impressive, and I think that is a strong point. So as much as Rax having a tough series, I don't think this is them benching him. I think this makes sense if you're going to slow the game down, take us to a poke style. For me, we've seen that from ENCE on Midtown.
Yeah.
We've also seen it on Circuit Royale. So for me, there's a few options as far as what map we go to, what ban, but I like that call-up bucket. I think banning a support, just protecting this double flex support style, that makes sense if you're going to bring Mirror in.
All right, so we might see a Widowmaker. We might see an Ashe. We might see a Cassidy. Is Cassidy viable after watching 2.5 days of action? Didn't go very well for our previous team as they got 0-4 as Space Station Gaming took care of business. Can you bring out Cassidy?
It's hard to judge a Cassidy because Exodio, I think, was their best player in that series. And I think he was effective on the Cassidy we pulled it out. Although that might have just been a skill differential. His aim was insane. He was hitting a lot of headshots.
Yeah.
But Kai on the Cassidy, that is a comfort pick as his as well. So I think it's not out of the realm of possibility, especially if you see Donghak on the ball. That might be something to look to do.
Jake, you were mentioning you watch Overwatch for 12 hours, you go home and you play Overwatch for 8 hours. Who else is just like you on that stage? Who's the biggest grinder?
Of these teams, you know, I think you do have to look at players like Vistola. I think he is an up-and-comer. He is highly motivated to reach the very top. I feel he is already near the top of Europe, but now we're on the global stage. This is the opportunity to take home potentially your share of $1 million. So honestly, if we're slowing things down, we're going to a Sigma map. While Kai is amazing, Mirror is great on the double flex support, they are going to be strong in those DPS and support lines. I think the Sigma is the biggest opportunity for a differential to occur. And in the Sigma Mirror, the opportunity to stun your opponent Sigma out of his ultimate is this one little moment of play that, man, it just changes everything about the game.
You see the cube? That means it is time to head back into the Kadia Arena for our map selection. This one is up to ENCE's coaching staff, and we're about to see where Crimzo wants to go.
Oh, there's so many options. I'm really curious to see what Crimzo does here. Like I said, he has so many levers he can pull, and he's already pulled the Mirror one, so I'm interested to see where he's going to take it on the map.
We won't see Flashpoint. You won't see Control. How do we feel about this pick, Jake?
Circuit Royale, baby, just
You
as I
called
thought. I like it. And honestly, this is why I was criticizing Fnatic not taking us to Escort, because I think that's where the biggest difference is. For me, Circuit is a masterful map for ENCE. It's exactly in their comfort zone, and it's a place that I don't think Fnatic has looked at their best. So for me, ENCE taking us to Escort is a wise decision. However, if we can get to Game 7, we could be seeing more.
No Lucio.
It also protects the flex support, right? So you can't get your flex supports banned out.
Ilari's in.
Also makes it much harder to play either rush or fast Genji dives. Much more difficult without the Lucio. So you're really solidifying this into a slow game if you're ENCE.
Is it smart to ban the Lucio this early in a best of 7?
I think right now, when it's 1-1, right now, we're looking towards momentum. And the third map is absolutely critical, I think, in a 7-map series if it goes that distance, because there's so much momentum involved with that. So like we said, we want this game to really slow down. Is the Sigma banned? Is that what we just saw?
Yeah,
Fnatic bans the Sigma.
Swapped it up there for a moment on us. I thought it was a Pharah gone.
But we have seen on this map, Team Falcons has had success playing, especially on the defense. They played the D.Va, so I'd be interested to see if Vistola tries to do that as well.
Yeah, I think the D.Va, the Ramatra, there's a couple ways you could go, but this is a major respect ban onto Vistola. They understand what a massive threat that guy is. When you put him in the driver's seat on Sigma, he takes the game over. So taking that out of the lineup, the D.Va could be effective, Ramatra can be as well, but much less of that gapping solo carry potential that we would expect to see from Vistola. Mirror, though, I think a lot of pressure on him coming in cold into the lineup. Kai as well. Can they deliver against this Fnatic squad?
Exciting lineups as Fnatic is staying with their starting 5. You're going to see ENCE making some switch-ups here. As we'll find out, can ENCE take advantage here in the best of 7 with their map pick? They're taking Escort. They picked Circuit Royale, but they won't have a Sigma. So things could get interesting. McGravy, give me the prediction. Who takes map 3?
Oh, it's going to get hairy, but I feel ENCE here. Even without the Sigma here, I think slowing down the game and making Fnatic stick to their guns is really good. And I think the 9, the Escort pick into the future is super important.
The game is set. Casters are ready. Let's head on up with Avril and Achilles.
Thank you very much, and yes, okay, some interesting developments as we go into this escort map to see which one of these teams is going to be taking the lead.
I'm really curious about Crimzo's line of thinking here because he has first ban priority, but he chooses to protect the double flex support by getting rid of Lucio instead of protecting the Sigma. There was an option here for him to ban away attack any tank, which then means Vastola gets to play his signature Sigma, which I think is the most ideal hero for this map. Could be a concern that, okay, if you play Sigma, does Dongak then go over towards the Rhine? He's not hardy, but Fnatic can play the Rhine composition, so given that Fnatic gets second ban, they'll take with a Sigma. Very obvious. However, with Mirror in, it's absolutely going to be double flex support. I don't think Mirror's going to play any Lucio, obviously because it's banned. No break, nothing else. Are Fnatic going to try and double flex themselves? Easyaki Jigon hovering over that currently. Can Dong dive on this map? That's the other question. Otherwise, it's going to be a Ram Mirror, and actually in a Ram Mirror, you probably favor ENCE. They're far more practice on it.
Well, for now, that is going to be the hover. Did get to see a couple flickers of the Doomfist as Izzyaki looking like maybe it's going to be matching here with that Alari. Knife on the Widow, checkmate, going to be taking the skies. Go for that Echo to try to keep Kevster contained. And as you can see, Knife anticipating a potential pop shot here.
This is basically a matchup now. Izzyaki and Lee Jae-gon on these heroes. Here we go. Flyers coming through. Kai not going to find the shot just yet.
Watching for each other. Shot's not quite connecting here. Kai on the pop shot as well. Nothing found. For now, just a little bit of neutrality here in the exchange, but Pistola taking quite a bit of damage, has the backpedal. Immortality field going to be cleared up by Donghak. He's got the shield set up here on the corner. A little bit of a slow field going to be set up there. Try to break through that pylon as Donghak tries to take some forward space.
Shot onto Kevster, but it's just the body so far. Fnatic pushing up, getting a good amount of distance, and some losing ground. They need to make something happen now between Kai and Kevster. The damage needs to come on through, otherwise Fnatic will have the hairpin for free.
And just a slow grind forward here from the side of Fnatic, working their way up, but only a minute lost as the cart gets dangerously close. Some nice shots here from Kai, softening him up, but kills cannot be confirmed. Kevster taking low, but again, healing's coming across. Mirror now under fire. Nearly gets eliminated himself.
Watch Lee Jae-gon, ult's coming online. Izzyaki needs to live here. Okay, here we go. Healing planet will stay him alive. Lee Jae-gon lives, it'll be Window. He needs to pop it straight away. Get that advantage going.
Kai finds it. There's the opener, but the quick trade back. Knife able to go ahead and get the punish, so no more Widowmaker on the opposite side, but down a healer here are Fnatic. Lee Jae-gon has that window out, however, and checkmate is able to find Kevster. The sticky bomb's coming through, and that should just about seal the deal here on this push, especially as Mirror does fall. Supportless now.
That's so late from Sky.
Trying to get his way back into this one. Drops down that window. Is looking for an opportunity. Puts a little bit of damage down onto the side of Lee Jae-gon, but cannot confirm that kill. Right clicks through, however, will keep the sustain here onto Pistola as that Annihilation rolls in, but Donghak is going to pressure him out. Return coming through, and that's going to be it. Pistola taking it down. Cap getting ready to come in. Captive Sun going to be committed here by Mira, but the Cap comes through. It's 4.5 minutes as the kills continue to come in for the side of Fnatic.
It's a sunk cost fallacy here. What is going on? ENCE are just throwing ultimate after ultimate after ultimate in a losing fight. Fnatic basically already had the point. They had the one-to-one trade-off. Lee Jae-gon with a much earlier ultimate in the sky in terms of the window. And still, ENCE just didn't want to give it up, but now they ruined the opportunity to economically be able to fight Fnatic in the subsequent B defense. So that is really, really tragic coming through from ENCE. I think Kevster and Kai have to bring this one back. They have Infrasight.
No one
Can Fnatic do something about this, or will they just respect it?
I mean, they pop it with Donghak playing the door like this. They don't have to respect the Infrasight whatsoever. TP across, though, instant dink to be found. Captive Sun going to be popped, looking for the elimination, but checkmate comes to the rescue. Beam comes across, and Kai going to be taken down. Pylon now set up, just keeping Donghak alive and well as checkmate has the dupe. Sky going to fall, and that is going to be the cleanup continuing here as this Payload has just been making a very steady pace, never interrupted.
Yep.
As Fnatic looking alive and well here on circuit.
You might not believe me, but that's what the race car looks like in 5th gear. It is a racing car. Formula something, I'm sure, on the streets of Circuit Royale. And so far, double purple sectors as we're looking over towards the 3rd here for the fastest lap. Fnatic doing all the best as ENCE just fumble their ultimates away. Kai can't get anything done in the Infrasight. Donghak, perfect push-up to deny it.
And it just feels like Fnatic coming into this one. I mean, previously, you know, in the group stage, not having good reads, not really understanding, you know, drafting as far as the maps are concerned, where they should be going to really give themselves the advantage. Right now, it feels like they've almost laid a trap for ENCE. We'll have to, of course, see how things do shake out as Donghak does get taken down. His reign of terror brought to a brief little conclusion here as Knife tries to stay alive, and Izzyaki The beam across can't quite bail him out.
You need to see ENCE take control here. Knife is down, and they have more ultimates to play through should they need them. Fnatic backing on out. The first major slowdown, the first, you would say, fight loss for Fnatic so far, and that will be extended further by Kai. Get the shot to Lee J gone. Mirror and Sky already have ultimates where EZYaki does not. So ENCE can finally just take a bit of a breather, knock that 4-minute time bank down. If Fnatic indeed do cap, make sure they cap with basically no time.
Plenty more still to be worked through as Pistola just spamming there on the corner. Annihilation at the ready, and Sky just
that's a
leaping
violent
up.
jump.
Yeah, and that's just the instant headshot found. EZYaki nearly getting traded out the Immortality field. Gonna get cleared out, and Kai again dead. Kevster able to find EZYaki though. Cleans him up, pulse bomb committed, comes up with the goods. Value found, his knife up over the top, cannot escape, and Kevster will be able to pursue to find that elimination. Mirror gets checkmate, Lee J gone dead. And even with the rough start with Sky getting his head taken off, ENCE will find stability further.
Sky might get money there, but ENCE, they'll be the ones cashing in that fight. Fnatic, another slowdown here. 4 minutes down to 3, but the ultimates are starting to become expended on the side of ENCE. Sky, the only one holding on to one because he was the one that ended up dying. Fnatic, they're actually kind of okay here. They got the advantage through the knife headshot. It's the other ultimates that didn't get used by Fnatic. So now Lee J gone, pulls trigger.
Yeah, Matrix there on the corner from Lee J gone. Knife eating a bit of damage. Immortality field going to be cleared up at Donghak. Captive Sun there from EZYaki. Just looking to poke and prod here where possible. Gets topped back up, and Mirror too far forward will end up falling as checkmate collects with a headshot. Space now bought here. Fnatic can begin the push.
And they need that payload distance right around to the final corner so they can finally challenge for that high ground in the pool section. Does Kai
He's swapping.
want to just... No, I think he might be repositioning here. He's got infra side. I think it's too early to go for the swap. Infra side's going to be important here. You also want to make sure you have parity with knife. Infra side for infra side.
Speaking of which, one of that pop comes through. Okay, never mind. They already know. Kevster here up above. The jump up. Quick little blinks out. Knife nearly getting caught there on the flank.
Buying time for Mirror.
Headshot there onto the solo, trying to soften up enemy Ramatra, but far cry away from being able to find that kill. For now, Cart going to be locked in at this corner. His Knife taking a very aggressive position. Instantly going to be headshot as Mirror sends down the Captive Sun, clears out that Immortality field, but Knife out to safety. Not going to get popped.
Mirror really desperate for that kill. Still gets the explosion, my goodness. That lasted so long, and now Mirror with a triple. Wow, how's he done
See
that?
this one in a replay is unbelievable scenes. Mirror gets himself the 4-piece. Lee J going to be taken down, and he just took this entire fight. I mean, it wasn't even a fight. It was one-sided.
Take a good look at yourself, son. That was brilliance coming through from the substitution on ENCE. Double flick supports coming out. And maybe now you start to see the double flicks, protect from the bans. Might have been worthwhile for ENCE all along. Fnatic majorly slowed down now as they've got about 1:10 left.
Unbelievable. And with all those kills, I mean, Mirror, he committed the ultimate to find the opening one. Now up towards 40%. Does get taken down, though. EZYaki able to find that elimination. But Lee J gone now in a bad spot. Will fall. Sky able to trade that one back, but EZYaki looking to try to recreate some of those scenes from Mirror. Finds himself a second. Fight win will come through. EZYaki with a nice headshot puts down Kai and Kevster dead on the back end.
Fnatic still need more players, though. A couple players did go down there on the attacking side, so they can't quite complete the map until they have their full fight, but they have double support ultimates available. This time, it's just going to be Sky on that defense with the window. If you can't get value out of that, it's going to be very troublesome. However, ENCE have high ground, Fnatic do not. That's important.
Kevster pulls as well. Captive Sun to start things off. Lee J gone. The window invested. EZYaki looking for the kill, but it's going to be the Immortality field taken down to start things off. Kevster pulse bomb, able to find the Immortality field on the opposite side, and Sky can collect the kill. Lee J gone now eliminated. Down to support here are Fnatic. Players still standing tall for the side of ENCE. Checkmate taken out of the dupe. Kai with a headshot, able to find EZYaki. Lee J gone going to be swapping over just to try to get back a little bit faster. Knife with some peel, gets a headshot, takes out Sky, and takes out Kai rather, I should say, but Knife himself will just get beaten into oblivion. Pistola able to find that elimination. Donghak dead. This push likely coming to a conclusion. This is just Lee J gone trying to play forward here alongside Checkmate, but as they both fall, that will be the end of it. Fantastic time buying here, mostly at the hands of Mirror, setting up for that monstrous 4K. They managed to deny the full push.
Yeah, and right towards the end there, as I mentioned, the high ground advantage there for ENCE, and Sky makes a full advantage of it. Window up high. There is nothing that Donghak and the rest of Fnatic can do. They just couldn't quite see it. Just take a look at this moment again. It didn't look like it was going to amount to much, but yeah, you forget that the Captive Sun lasts for so long, and it was actually someone else. I believe that was Sky that triggers it. Sky triggers the Captive Sun explosion, and Mirror says, you know what? I'm on a flank already. Let's just keep on going, and keep on going. He does. Ended up being a 4K, assisted by Sky, and the Mirror Sky double flex support have won that C-point defense, especially from that final push.
Yeah, very much sealing the deal on it. Fantastic here from Mirror. Stability at long last found there by ENCE, but they give themselves a win condition, but they still need to make it towards the end of the map.
Let's be clear about something that happened here as well. Praises where praises are deserved in terms of the C defense, but you have to remember A and B. Those were non-contests. You had the race car of Fnatic, double purple sectors into a DNF, just crashed, shunted onto the wall.
I understood some of those words.
No. Some people appreciate the references, I'm sure. As Fnatic, what they are proving to me at least is that they're capable of playing the Ram. They got through in a Ram mirror in the neutral with a lot of distance. They only struggled at the end. If they can continue this, Dongak's hero pool is expanding by the minute in real time.
Kevster looking like it's just going to be sticking with this Pharah v Pharah. Not opting into the Echo, at least not for now. Kai on the hunt, swinging here on the corner. Shield in his face, goes up over the top. Knife not quite even looking for, but now gets the word here that the pop shot attempt had come through.
More good.
Be taken down for now, the only casualty found.
More good opening pacing from ENCE, same as what we saw from Fnatic early on. Gets straight over towards the hairpin. As you can see, the pylon positioning here just makes it so hard for the attacking team to clear until probably their Pharah has to be able to be the one shoot, but then you play Imton knife scopes. It's going to come down to the Widows once more, looking for the shot, knows that Kevster is there, and leaves him on 1 HP.
Yeah, couldn't quite confirm it though. Just swinging out, looking for that wide angle. Jump up over the top with the grapple. Kai trying to set up for it. Kevster again eating a bit, and Knife decides to pull off the angle for now.
Fnatic do lead in ultimates ever so slightly, not by a lot. Visola though, look at that. It's actually going to be Kai.
Direct hit. Checkmate able to pull back, but as you say, Kai finding the headshot. Knife going to be taken down. Immortality field set up here by Lijigon now. Sending in with that amp matrix, but he's going to fall, and there's no one else to really try to play off of this one. Donghak left out to dry, a sliver of HP finished off by Kai, and that'll be the point A cap coming in here for the side of ENCE. A big time bank in their own right.
Knife is going to be disappointed in the fact that he had a couple of really critical moments to turn that around. If he gets the kill onto Kevster, if he finds a shot into Kai, it's a very different story. ENCE, they get the early ultimates just barely. As we take a look at this play again, you have a kill onto Knife, just starts
slowed up.
Corner. You can see that Kevster, there's no pressure. He knows that there's no Widowmaker on the other side. Just start going deep, force some ultimates out, and Lijigon pulls that to no avail at all. Nothing comes through from the window, sadly.
Nope, and now it's going to be a big advantage for the side of ENCE as they have double support ultimates. Captive Sun's going to be exchanged here. Those coming across, keeping Donghak alive. It's chipped away, yeah, down to half HP, continuing to just try to keep things contested as the card gets ready around up here on the corner. But Kevster caught, going to be taken down at the barrage, gets opened up. He's just stuck in place, and Izzyaki finds the headshots, but the Pharahs get traded out. It's just going to be these Alaris taking down the Pharahs out of the sky. Jump shot attempt from Knife, not able to find it. Doesn't have the infra set to try to match here as Kai opens up with his own.
And this is very difficult now because Lijigon has to get out of dodge. Fnatic cannot challenge Infrasight when you are mismatched on ultimates. Knife, he can't really do anything about the situation. There'll be more deaths here. Donghak is very low as well.
The Knife, yeah. Sliver of HP as Donghak will not be able to survive here, it would seem. Mir eventually able to claim that kill. Kai does get taken down. His checkmate Rio arrives, has the barrage here in his back pocket, but can he get the opportunity? The answer is going to be no. Visola pushing forward and just forcing out some of that self-damage. Helps to take him down. Kevster dead, but Izzyaki quickly traded. And it feels like deja vu, but the colors inverted and having just as strong of a push, slightly stronger push, in fact, than what we saw from Fnatic.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Fnatic just couldn't quite get their defense online from the very first cap point on towards A. The momentum continued forward, and this time as well, I think Fnatic had a better shot at defending B, considering they wasted less ultimates. Remember, ENCE wasted 3 ultimates trying to contest A. Lijigon burned a window, but that shouldn't have been the critical factor. I think the fact that, you have Kai kind of just outpacing Knife here, Knife dying.
I mean, he's desperately trying to find some kind of headshot. Eventually, Mira will fall. I was going to say everybody's pushing onto this angle just to try to really disrupt his exit. Knife will finally find, I believe, his first elimination of this defense as well, as Kevster will get a headshot. So cleanup can be found. That's going to be some stability sought here for Fnatic, but it's still 4 minutes, 10 seconds that they need to buy.
You generally prefer to be the defensive Widowmaker here. Now Fnatic have to work on their ultimates. It's going to be a long time, as you said, and ENCE, they still have more ults to work through. You're going to need a magical moment. Izayaki with the Captive Sun, he's going to need that Mirror 4K to slow things down, because that's essentially what ENCE most of their time.
Sun for Sun, sent out, Mirror falling low, tucks back, heals coming across, Immortality Field's going to be taken away here from Lee Jae-gon, and he's instantly going to fall. The Annihilation claims Izayaki as well, and claims checkmate. And now it is just Donghack left on his lonesome. They say, yeah, push the cart, let's just stagger this guy. And show him a little bit of mercy, but that's going to be a team kill with 3.5 minutes now remaining.
There's going to be a lot of distance. ENCE are looking fantastic here, and they don't even have to finish the map. This ends as soon as the blue box of victory is capped out. And Fnatic just have nothing to work through. And the same situation here. ENCE had full high ground. They had a window available. Their supports chilling on the back. Checkmate, though, that is a very important kill. That's actually knock off the map.
Knock off the map, and Izayaki going to be traded, so 1 for 1 on the supports, but it does get rid of the Ant Matrix for now, and that's the most crucial thing here for Fnatic.
Fnatic have a respawn advantage. The 1-to-1 is not going to be good enough. The 1-to-1 actually still favors Fnatic, so just the one kill from Checkmate alleviates so much pressure. Just turn that pressure valve down. Get the needle back into the green. 2 minutes 50. A lot of work still yet to be done. You need to buy time for your supports to get more ultimates to play through. Knife, once again, cannot challenge the Infrasight.
Just jumping out, denying that line of sight here where possible. Knife eating a bit of damage. Both bump from Kevster, able to find the Immortality Field. Jae-gon, Johnny on the spot with that one, trying to keep everybody protected. But Pistola pushing forward, Nemesis form here, and Donghack just cannot survive. Pistola claiming 2. Right back up to full HP, and it looks like this map might just be coming to an end. 4 meters let they go. Can anybody go for the touch? The answer is going to be no. And now ENCE, with their map pick on Circuit Royale, will regain the lead up 2-1.
And ENCE proved that even without the Sigma, they can take away Circuit. The Ram matchup, it looked good for Donghack, but it was better for Pistola still. ENCE, the more practiced team in this mirror, the more practiced team on this map. And speaking of mirrors, the substitution coming in, paying dividends. What an Illari performance that allows ENCE to buy back one more map.
Yeah, I mean, the desk was talking about it, saying, okay, we see him come in, it's likely going to be Illari. It was, but it was way more gorgeous than we could have anticipated. But enough from us here. There's still more games to be played. For now, we'll pass it back down.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. As we wrap up game number 3, we thought the Sigma ban was going to be crucial to the success for Fnatic, but that Ram looked pretty clean on Pistola.
I think it was smart to ban the Sigma. I think we would have seen an even bigger gap if it was a Sigma mirror there. But Pistola still is fantastic. He has flexibility, and the Ram, a fair replacement. For me, though, you got to look to the DPS for Mans. I mean, Kai on the Widowmaker, fantastic performance. Finding picks on attack, very hard to do, but he managed. And Kevster, every time he goes with the Tracer, he just lights up that kill feed.
Let's talk a little bit about these players as we take a look at the highlights, McGravy. We thought it would come down to the DPS. Kevster showing you his Tracer strength, but we were watching the Widows back and forth. Let's take a look at some of these moves. Will we see more Echo from Checkmate? Does that work against the composition you saw coming out of ENCE?
Yeah, I think Checkmate still will play the Echo. It's one of the comfort heroes, and it's really flexible. It has a lot of opportunity to play against a lot of different comps. But yeah, as you were saying, the DPS, both Widowmakers were insane. I think even the Illari battle here was pretty intense, pretty back and forth, I would say.
As we take a look, this is the first point captured. ENCE putting away the Pharah eventually, as it was the Tracer Widow to finish their attack. And you mentioned it, Jake. Pretty easy to defend with the Widowmaker. Attacking with one, though, you need to put yourself in a vulnerable position or hit those critical shots in the very minute moments that are available to you.
Yeah, and Kai was finding those picks on attack where I don't think it's expected. It's not easy. He's breaking open those defenses with a first pick. And, I mean, for the rest of his team, it's kind of easy from that point on. So you got to give your flowers to Kai if you're ENCE. But on the other side, Fnatic, you knew this was going to be ENCE's strongest suit. This is why I was kind of criticizing them for not choosing Dorado the last map, because you opened yourself up to a Widow duel on Circuit. I think Knife performed admirably, but he's a Hyperflex player. I don't think he's really like that Widow specialist, and that's kind of what you need to take on a player like Kai.
Now, we could see Dorado later in the series if we make it to a Game 6 or a Game 7, but as Jake said, this may have been a bit of a mistake by Fnatic choosing their Game 2, but they'll also get to choose Game 4. Let's take a moment, though, to highlight these Widowmakers, because this was such a fun battle to watch. Huge, impactful kills on both sides. McGravy, will we see this battle on future maps in this best of 7?
I think it's not likely unless we do go to that map 6 or map 7. But yeah, as Jake was saying earlier, I think Knife has the aim for the Widow, but I think Kai is just a more experienced Widowmaker. He had those jump peak timings. When he was on attack, he was finding those openings for his team that Knife just wasn't matching. Knife was not bad by any means necessary, but I think Kai was absolutely, like his kill timings were absolutely critical.
These headshot tracks, so impressive, Jake. Can you keep performing at this level if you're Knife, if you're Kai? Because Knife is putting everything out there. We saw what he was doing on Tracer, keeping pace, if not beating Kevster in that role. Now, he was going toe-to-toe against one of the best in the tournament.
I think we've seen the identities for both teams established. I think Donghack, when he's able to play the ball, I think similar style we could see with a Doomfist or a Winston can still be replicated. Those super high-tempo dives, attacking the backline of ENCE, that's been a strong suit for Fnatic. For the ENCE squad, I mean, if they can slow the game down, make it about snipers, allow Vistola some time to work in the tank matchup, I do think that's going to be their wheelhouse. So a lot of pressure on the coaches. You've got bans, you've got map picks.
Yes.
What can you do to really throw each other off their game, pick the map that gives you the biggest advantage? Falling behind in the series could be really rough. Fnatic, they need to strike back hard and fast.
It's time for Fleta and Fate to huddle up. It is halftime here in our second match of the round of 12. When we come back, we're guaranteed at least 2 more maps. ENCE versus Fnatic. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We are live in Riyadh, the Disney World of esports. It feels like the bright lights, the huge stages, and a spectacle for everyone who's come out to watch these players. So far, ENCE has a 2-1 advantage in the best of 7, but now we swing it back over to the coaches on Fnatic to make some serious decisions. Jake, you were talking about it during the break. You cannot make any mistakes here for the coaching staff. You have to win your map picks.
You have such an advantage with potentially first ban and map choice after you do drop a map in these best of 7 series. This is pressure on for the players of Fnatic. This is the one that they're expected to take, even up the series, and keep things alive. If you're Fnatic, you've got to force a long series to make a comeback here.
All right, so what is the best case scenario if I'm a Fnatic fan? Do I go to hybrid? What map do you want to see here, McGravy? Where are you comfortable? Because the Doomfist was doing work on Eichenwald yesterday.
Yeah, we were having a discussion about it, and it's right now you really got to think about saving that D.Va ban. They still have that D.Va ban in their back pocket, so you could go to hybrid now and potentially ban D.Va and stick to a dive and make them play something slower where you can just run them over. But you also have to think the series has to extend. This has to go to a map 6 or a map 7 for Fnatic, so potentially you take them to a Coliseum. They've shown it before that they're willing to play a Doomfist on Coliseum.
Jake, you were saying last map there was a change in the game, and that's when Kevster switched over to the Tracer. Is there a way to avoid Kevster's pulse bombs going into map 4?
I think you cannot throw bans at Kevster. It's a waste of time. He's going to do just as well.
Is there a map,
he
though, that Tracer's not so good on?
I guess, but I mean, I do think Knife is battling well, so I actually don't think that's really the edge that you want to expend a ban on, because you're banning out Knife's Tracer at the same time, where for me, I just don't see that being a huge advantage for Fnatic. I did just have a brain blast, though. I think there's a road forward here for Fnatic, if they can find it. If you take us to a new Queen Street and you ban a tank that is not D.Va, that protects the Wrecking Ball on New Queen Street, which for me is the best map for Wrecking Ball. It's the place where a player like Donghak can shine, as he has throughout the series, but that means you could keep that D.Va ban in reserve for a more impactful map like, let's say, a Dorado, if we can get to a Game 6, Game 7.
I really like that call. Some fresh thoughts here from Jake. McGravy, what's going through your head?
Yeah, his brain is churning. I'm really in agreement here with Jake. I think that's a great idea. We've seen, historically, New Queen Street has been a great Wrecking Ball map. Wrecking Ball in general has not historically been good, but we've seen teams pull it off. Even if Crazy Raccoon is someone who's also really pulled out the Wrecking Ball at New Queen Street, so I think that's a great idea.
Best hero on New Queen Street outside of Wrecking Ball, Jake?
It might be the D.Va or the Winston. I think Wrecking Ball might be the best hero on that map. I mean, it is a unique map, extremely long, very wide open, a lot of little tricky hallways for the Wrecking Ball to come in and out of, a lot of health packs to go eat and get right back into the fight. We've seen Junbin have huge success on the hero combo, and Donghak has looked fantastic on the hero. He is masterful.
Mirror is 1 for 1 so far in this best of 7. Can the Olari come out on that map, or are you expecting Rack Attack to come back out for ENCE?
I think it would be tough to make double flex support work. I think that's a very greedy choice. I think you do need a main support with all those angles of attack. It's just hard to keep the enemy in front of you, which is what you need on Olari. You know, you want to kind of take your angle, you know, have the attack coming in where you can see it. If you get surrounded, things are looking grim for an Illari.
As we send it back over to the Qiddiya Arena, it is time to find out what changes are these coaches going to make. Fnatic not only gets the map choice, they also get the first hero ban. And we are going to see some new bodies on that stage as Rack Attack is going to be back in for ENCE. The choice of the map is coming from Fnatic. And Jake, we will see push.
It is going to be Coliseum. They've had success with the Doom dive before. They beat out Space Station. However, I think when it comes to the D.Va dive, ENCE is a different beast. They could be much more threatening on that D.Va dive. So confidence from Fnatic.
So you got to ban D.Va right here, right?
Potentially. I think that would be a decent choice. They're going to go with the BAP, though, blocking the Rush style as opposed to the D.Va style. Maybe feeling that the BAP could be used in either a D.Va dive or a Rush. This is an interesting choice now because we could see a tank man, maybe attacking Donghak's Wrecking Ball or Doomfist.
No Frisbees this map. What will we see on the other side from ENCE? It's time for Crimzo to lock in his ban. And here it is, Wrecking Ball. No Wrecking Ball for you, Donghak.
This feels like a battle of egos here. I think Fnatic on one side says, hey, we want to play dive. I want you guys to mirror this. And then on the other side, ENCE says like, hey, we'll play dive. You just can't play Wrecking Ball. We're fine with this Doomfist. Let's see it.
Doomfist is an incredibly powerful hero, but so volatile. You cannot make mistakes, much less forgiving than Wrecking Ball. And with Vestola on the other side, this could be a real test for Donghak.
With 40 heroes in the game, Doomfist by far the greatest to ever grace Overwatch, and we will see, can Donghak make the difference as Fnatic is looking to tie up this series at 2-2. It's best of 7s all the way through the round of 12, and it looks like the players are ready to go at it once again. Give me the prediction, McGravy. Does Fnatic tie it up?
Oh, I actually think it's going to be an upset here. I think Fnatic might be a little too confident in their Coliseum. I do think even against Space Jason, it was very close. They relied a lot on Checkmate hitting critical pulse bombs. I'm feeling kind of an upset here on the map pick.
Maimon back in. We'll see if his Echo can do some damage or what hero he brings to the table. The map is loaded up. The casters are ready, so let's send it upstairs for map number 4.
Thank you very much. Now, ENCE in a position of power. 2-1 the scoreline at the moment. And if they can get this win, like the Gravy's just talking about, then they will have series point. They will be then just one step further away from sending Fnatic home and keeping themselves then into the top 8.
But it is Fnatic's map choice, and you know, Fnatic, if you really think about how their team has gone, they will defy expectations in terms of what maps you think they will play, but even then, doubly so, will defy expectations in terms of winning the maps they pick anyway. They've already won Survasa, they won Colosseo against SSG yesterday, off of Donghak's Doom. Now, considering the bans, Ball is gone, ENCE don't want to deal with that anymore. The problem here is, if Donghak indeed wants to play Doom again, if he wants to play some sort of dive, there is the capability for Vestola to go towards a Malga. Now, there's no BAP on board, which means it looks like Fnatic wants to drag this one into a dive if possible.
That they do. Well, they're talking about that Diva. There it is. Donghak, though.
Really going to do the Ryan. I didn't think
it's been a while since we've seen that, but yeah, Pivot's going to be coming through. Doomfist is going to be there. Is Yaki going to be picking up that Ana, trying to get those nanos online, and Leech Khan going to go for the break.
So let's see what happens here. If ENCE do lose a fight, if Vestola goes back to spawn, does he go over towards the Malga, or he's going to do the same thing as Hardy and stay on the Diva?
Time shall tell. For now, though, Donghak looking to play aggressively. Quick little jump forward on the seismic slam. Rest of the team going for that fountain side approach. As we wait to see any kind of real engage coming through. I'm on back into the fray here, trying to see what kind of difference he could put up on this Echo as Anti goes across, catching on to 2. He and Rack Attack both getting clipped by it, but kills still not yet to be found. Fnatic for now just occupying the bot, starting a very slow push.
Have to be very good with the Suzus there to deny the Antis and the sleeps. Yaki, he's going to hit plenty of both in the series. Fnatic just ever so slightly getting tiny amounts of meterage as the first minute has gone on by. Where are the ultimates? Currently, Izzyaki leading, but lots of damage still being traded back and forth. A pick might come through before the first ultimate does.
I mean, Izzyaki leading, but Sky is not that far behind, nor is Kevster with that first pulse bomb. You can see Knife trying to catch up, but down by about 20%. So pulse bomb opener could be big here for the side of ENCE.
Nano's coming.
On the
Looking like
way.
the first ult. Sky trying to catch up.
Go. Sky there, nearly getting it. Stunned up for a brief little moment there, but the kill's not going to be found. The beam across, however, Rack Attack is going to be the first one to fall. The sticky bombs able to go ahead and find that elimination, but still going to be held in position. Fnatic needing more to really start to get this push going. And now they will turn their sights back over to it.
And just before any ultimates were used as well. So yeah, indeed, a pick is going to come through first. Comes through from Checkmate. Now 98%, 99 versus Maimon. Yet to be there. Dong, here we go. Nano in play. Suzu's already gone.
He's looking for Vestola. Turns his sights now over to Capture, but he's a little bit too elusive. Drop down. Pulse bomb going to go out. Vestola going to be taken out of the mech. Pulse bomb from Kevster, though, going to be coming up short. Doesn't manage to find anything here. Kitsune Rush going to be committed from the side of Sky to try to turn the tide of this one, but the Baby Diva is going to be finished off. The copy now coming through from Checkmate as well, is adding that Diva into the mix against the likes of ENCE. Try to turn the tide. Self-destruct now going to be online. Can just go ahead and send that one before the dupe expires. Will do so. See if he is able to find any kind of pick. The answer is going to be no, but as he comes out of that one, finds Rack Attack once again, just cycling him right back into that spawn room.
And Maimo's still trying to play this one out. It's 2 supports down, but the Duke comes through. This is maybe a little bit of a waste of an ultimate. I mean, Fnatic don't even have to really care about this one. They'll just, okay, leave Maimon to get Matrix by Vestola, but that's one further ultimate down, and he gets taken down anyway. Checkmate with the follow through, and that might give Fnatic the capability to cap.
And Checkmate looking absolutely devastating here at the moment. Already a third of the way up towards the next one. Rally popped, Kevster dead to the whip shot. Looking for a little bit more, trying to deny these retreats over into the spawn, but there will be 4 players retreating successfully, but now Bot getting ever closer towards that checkpoint.
And by the time we get to a checkpoint fight here, is Izzyaki going to get the nano or not? Because that would be critical up against ENCE, who need to go for the touch. They need to go for the contest. Solo currently trying to checkmate, and MyMo will get the kill for the 5v4.
Yeah, a bit of a rough spot there. The beam coming through. It's just up against the wall, nowhere to go. Nice eat on the pulse. Knife unable to turn the tides of the fight there with the ultimate. As Donghak will just drop down and eventually give his life, but still a significant amount of damage, or distance I should say, opened up here by Fnatic.
And that's what ENCE need. They need to be able to find those individual picks. They need to get this before the ultimates become a factor as well, because if Izzyaki had 6% more, that could have been a difference, or a check could have been nanoed there to save his life, and ENCE wouldn't have really much of an answer. 64 meters, not quite a cap, as ENCE will finally get their first meterage on board. About 3.5 minutes into the game. Nano comes through. Dong is the recipient. Where do we go for the damage? Sky nearly on the Katuna rush.
Well, Izzyaki and Legion going to be taken out. I mean, they just go ahead, they invest this nano, but doesn't hold any water here for the side of Fnatic. This fight very much falling away from them. Knife, I believe, going to be going for a little bit of a back cap push on the bot, just making sure it stays over towards the opposite side of the map, but not going to be able to sneak away any kind of checkpoint here.
Well, it's about resetting, I think, the opportunity for ENCE to get more meterage of their own. So now Fnatic get to come into another fight where the bot hasn't really made any progress despite ENCE winning a fight. And I like the fact that they just decide to ignore Donghak and go for the backline. Izzyaki leads you on. You need to pressure them down.
Rack attack here, wall riding, trying himself out the safety, takes quite a bit of damage.
Kevster got one up.
Punch just absolutely annihilates Kevster. Sky is similarly going to be taken down as Izzyaki lobs in that ante. Punch not going to connect. Rack attack elusive enough to avoid that, but the back line now starting to fall to pieces. Maimon coming alive, being the takeout lead. Jagon, Izzyaki dead moments before. Bot again being taken away. Vastola looking around saying, where the hell is it?
That's twice now that Maimon has bailed out ENCE from what could have been a really upsetting situation. Vastola needs to be careful not to get demexed here. All have teammates and Matrix available.
But because of the thievery here of Knife, he's denying them being able to get really easy progress off the back
shades
of
these. Zest.
Yeah.
You know, because at this point, ENCE should be getting a lot more done, but they just can't. They can't keep control of Payload.
Dupe from Maimon here, rather, onto the Brig. Not really finding any targets, though. Trying to build up towards that rally. Backpedaling now, Izzyaki and Lee Jagon trying to stay alive. The pulse bomb comes through. Kevster eventually finding his mark, and Izzyaki dead again. Maimon managing to come up with that kill. Rack attack will fall. Donghak going to be good for one, as he drops back down, seeking another target, seeking some reprieve as well. And Dupe is here, checkmate, self-destruct, built up, sends it up over the top. Knife going to be eliminated, though, as Sky finds the headshot.
Vastola lost his mech though as well, has to reset it, so it's an ultimate for an ultimate at least. Now to get something out of that sort of situation. Now the respawners start to come on through. Can ENCE still challenge for this cap? They've run out of ultimates. They need more players to come on in. Rack died. He should be back soon though. Here's a Lucio.
But Sky now going to be traded out, so while they do go ahead and they regain Rack attack, he's going to be killed off. His Knife again will find a pulse bomb kill onto him, and Sky dead means that this push is going to come to a conclusion. So close but no cigar for ENCE. They get within 15 meters, but they cannot gain the lead.
It's actually the first time in a while that you actually see Rack Attack and Sky being pressured up, because for the majority of this map, I want to say Izzyaki and Legion have actually been dying, and that's what's giving ENCE any sort of capability of being competitive. But if it wasn't for the fact that Knife has repeatedly stolen away the payload, I think ENCE probably could have really threatened the camp by now. It's strange that they're still behind. Here comes Nano again.
Nano again, but last time this is where things fell apart in the fight.
TP?
Sky getting jumped on. Suzu's himself, TP not being spotted out. Goes ahead, wall climbs back up, but checkmate is there with a beam. Gets the alley-oop, finds the kill, but then does pay for it with his life, but with Rack attack similarly falling. This means that things are still continuing to fall apart a little bit for the side of ENCE. Break onto the mech, the rally now rolling from Lee Jagon. As Donghak just continues to play forward, continues to threaten, and try to escort Knife forward to go ahead and collect some more kills.
They got the cap as well. Checkmate was the only one that went down. He should be flying back very shortly, so 5 alive for Fnatic as ENCE get the regroup in. And now Sky's got the Katuna rush, but we're getting extra meters here for Fnatic. 76, should be looking towards the 80 plus here. Good disengage. Okay, they don't want the smoke coming through from Vastola on the counter attack. They're happy with the 77, and now we'll go back to neutral.
Just pulling back away, not wanting to overdo it, not wanting to feed any additional ult charge here towards the members of ENCE. They also know that they're likely in a bit of a rougher position as far as that ult cycle is concerned, and they'd be right to assume so. Knife, trying to get a predictive, just leading shot on the pulse bomb lob in, but that is going to be relatively easily avoided. Speaking of pulse bombs, though, Kevin are able to find one as Izzyaki gets taken down. He gets a follow-up on the Legion on as well. Sky traded up, but Donghak does manage to make it a little bit more costly, but ultimately it's still a 3 for 2. Donghack having a meteor strike out to safety, drops in over towards the spawn room doors, and that means ENCE now with an opportunity to potentially get this checkpoint themselves.
He's got to take down the hypercarry because Kev's just soloed the backline off and that double supports down because of one player. But look at this. If you see on the map, many ENCE players coming back from spawn. Sky and Kev down there. Super important for a player like Donghack to get that solo kill onto Kev still or anybody, because when you get those trades happening, you have defensive spawn advantage and the attackers have to come through from so far away.
Dupe here on Izayaki, the anti-connecting, but that final shot not enough to kill him off, but as he goes back into the Echo form, the M1 will be able to find its mark. Izayaki going to be taken down. Checkmate again, the dupe here onto the Diva. Lee Jae-gon able to find Kevster, keeping him honest. He tries to flank around these back lines, and now Maimon in just far too deep a position, and it's Donghack who's actually pushing the bot.
Yep, they are going to a minimum reset this one. I don't think any distance will come through of it, and I don't think Dong wants to go for any sort of damage himself, as you don't want to risk anything. A minute 30 left to play through. Honestly, all of the payload stealing, it's been good for Fnatic, but ENCE have enough distance that should this go into OT, and it will, the 20-ish meter gap can be closed.
No, it certainly can. And that's a solid start as Maimon's able to find one. Checkmate going to be taken down. A solid beam kill coming across. Donghack now having to backpedal. Izayaki desperately tries to get that next ult online, but he's going to have to wait for the next life as the kill comes across. Sticky Bombs getting the full connect. Lee Jae-gon barely able to keep himself alive. Maimon down to 17 HP, but the kill just cannot be found. No one else there to follow up on the damage.
And see the situation where they get the sound barrier off. Here comes the camp finally. Does Fnatic go for the touch? Just barely in time. Pulse bomb.
Pulse bomb out from Knife, not going to be able to find the touch there. Kill not found, sound barrier now dropped in from the side of Ragattack. Rally rolling from Lee Jae-gon. Whip shot to try to keep him at distance. Pulse bomb looking for the stick, but he goes into the shield. Lee Jae-gon keeping him protected, and for now, that checkpoint still has not been found. But speaking of checkmate, he is going to be eliminated. Maimon continuously getting the better of him here in this Echo battle. Nano has to be used. It goes over to Lee Jae-gon to try to keep him alive, but the focus fire still doing some damn good damage. Holds on by a threat as Donghack comes to the rescue. Able to find one more kill, but Vistola with the self-destruct. He takes out Donghack. And now the checkpoint is obtained, the lead getting ready to be in the hands of ENCE.
But Fnatic have the better respawns here. ENCE have to come through from so far away. The flip, oh my goodness!
0.06. The distance here, the advantage for the side of ENCE. They might have just stolen this one away. Knife is able to find Vistola, but all ENCE need to do is win one more fight. The bot getting shipped, the overtime coming through.
That's basically C9. That's basically a C9. Fnatic let the flip go through. Fnatic were about to win the map, and ENCE stole away the flip. That's gigantic.
They have to win this one out. Leeching on the rally nearly there. Checkmate as well. The tube about to be online. The advantage, as far as the ult is concerned, is very much in the hands of Fnatic, but they cannot squander this. Knife needs to be able to find value. He's been noted on the flank to dive forward. They're looking for the support. Izayaki, he's dead. Lee Jae-gon eliminated. No hope in hell, it would seem. It's Fnatic. They had the upper hand for so very long, but in one fell swoop, it gets pulled out from beneath them, and they lose it all. Donghack cannot do anything more. The overtime will expire, and ENCE will be taking the lead even further. They will be gaining match point. They are one map away from sending Fnatic home.
That is the most egregious mistake that I've seen so far in this tournament. Maybe one of the worst C9s of all time.
0.06.
You just have to keep the payload in your distance. If you don't allow the flip to come through, you literally win the map. You win the map, Fnatic. There should be a 2-2 score. I mean, oh my goodness. How do you allow that to happen? That's a monstrous C9. That is like top tier. That's on my S tier of C9s of all time. Look at the face of Fnatic. They know what happened. They knew that they won the map, but they had the payload stolen away. I mean, how poetic that Knife steals the payload for the entire map, but right when it counts, it's Vistola that shoves it past the finish line and allows ENCE now to have a 3-1 when it should have been a 2-2, all because Fnatic did not pay attention.
And that is one of those losses that can linger with you and linger with them. It seems like it has. Fnatic right now, knowing their situation, knowing that they are one map away from elimination, from losing out on that doubled up prize money, from that top 8, from that chance at glory here at EWC.
If this series goes the way of ENCE, and it's looking likely now with the 3-1 scoreline, Fnatic, they'll be kicking themselves for that moment for a very long time. For the rest of the year, some for the duration of the careers. Maybe maybe it sounds dramatic coming through for me, but you have to understand that was Fnatic's map. They had it locked in. All they had to do was not allow the C9 to happen, and they C9 and they gave it away, and now their tournament life is in jeopardy because of that one mistake.
And now they become that much more readable from the side of ENCE because you've only got one more map type that you can go to, that you can rely on for this map to try to keep your life alive, frankly. But man, Fnatic down, not yet out. We'll see if ENCE can finish the job though when we come back, but first we'll pass things back over to the analysts.
A massive blunder on your own map pick cannot happen at this stage in the game. Fnatic now on the back foot. They are against the ropes. Jake, we've seen some epic C9s in our time. Do we just find ourselves with a new term? Is this officially a Fnatic?
I don't know if that can take, I don't think anything can take it away.
Settle down, Admiral.
We're too far. But I mean, this was like Fnatic was in control throughout the entire map, and only at the very last moment does it slip away. Even after the C9, I was pretty sure they were gonna win the map. I mean, they had the ults necessary, and ENCE just went for a hard int rush with no ulties. It was kind of their only play, and it paid off. It worked.
McGravy, Papa Puckett is watching from Florida. He texted me, I don't know what I'm watching, but this is awesome. Can you break it down for some of the more casual fans? What was the key moment in this game? How did you see ENCE steal the victory away from Fnatic?
Outside of the C9, for me, what really stuck out to me was Maimon's copies. And right there towards the end, when he copied that in and that highlight we had just seen, he ended up hitting both value. He had a nade onto the opposing Ana on Izayaki. He killed him, and then he slept the Doomfist. That's a ton of value to be getting out of copy.
Yeah, the Ana copy is so much impact, and one that not every Echo player is so adept on, right? To play such a different hero as the Ana on DPS, but not only does he kill Ana, sleeping the Doomfist into the Diva Bomb,
Yes.
a classic combo.
Unfortunate finish there for Fnatic, but they are not out yet. It is a best of 7. They still have the advantage being able to pick the 5th map, and of course, being able to be the first team to ban. But Jake, you're looking like it's over, my guy. Is this ENCE's series to lose?
Here's the thing. Fnatic gets the least valuable map pick of the entire series. Game 5 map pick, you only have hybrid. So yeah, you get to pick between the hybrids. Yeah, that's an advantage to get first ban. But the next 2 map picks, if Fnatic wins 2 maps, the next 2 map picks are going to be ENCE's, and they're going to have almost the entire pool available. You can't replay a map, but you can play any mode you want to as ENCE, and you're going to have the next 2 first bans available. So ENCE, they've got a lot of chances to close this out. It's going to take heroics from Fnatic to win this series.
Going back to the Virtus Pro series, we saw some success on Hollywood. We saw some success from Fnatic when they're able to just get some high ground. Kevster, though, is causing chaos in the back line. Is there a way to slow down one of the world's greatest tracers?
You can never stop the world's greatest tracers. You need one of your own, and frankly, they just don't have that right now. Knife has been good, but Kevster's on a tier of his own. What I'm really scared about, like you said, the map pick on map 5, it's reduced. You just have a lot of strategic, less strategic value. You have to feel really good for your ENCE. I think Crimzo also has to feel great. I think, like I said earlier before, he gambled. He said, hey, we're not scared of the Doomfist on Coliseum. He said, bring it. We're ready. You can play the Doomfist. We're not scared of it. And I think going forward, you have to think if you're Fnatic, you can't really pull that out anymore.
We've got 3 minutes, Jake, so it's time to theory craft. I'm Fate. I'm Fleta. I just picked my map. Where am I going? What do I tell my players? Do I make any substitutions?
I don't know if you make any substitutions. I think you do just stick to your guns. For Fnatic, I think you've got to keep believing in Donghack. You haven't taken him out all series long. Yep. The Doomfist might not have worked, but the Wrecking Ball has been fantastic. The Winston is still waiting in the wings, and with that first ban, you can control, I think, a little bit more here on this hybrid. The last 2 maps of the series, if you can force it there for Fnatic, those are going to be your real test, but you do still get to pick the hybrid. You go wherever scrims have been showing you whatever's your best style, wherever you think Donghack can be the most comfortable. You've got options here. So staying alive this map is the first hurdle. The real challenge is going to be as we go deeper into this series is, I mean, only these 3 options. Hollywood, Midtown, Eichenwald. I'm leaning towards Hollywood, but I don't know. I mean,
I'm going
Sigma on first.
I'm going to remember last night. I'm going to remember us clutching against SSG, and I'm going to give my team confidence. McGravy, am I a terrible coach?
You are not a terrible coach. I'm actually in agreement. I'm thinking I'm just kind of theory crafting in my head right now. If I want to play Wrecking Ball, what's the best spot for it? I think Hollywood's really awkward with the grapple angles. Midtown is just too open. And I think Eichenwald, it kind of fits more with the big castle, the really big second point where you can really utilize the movement.
Pretty excited for this one. I had Fnatic winning it. I don't know if that's going to happen right now, Jake. I'm kind of feeling ENCE to finish this one. Can they put Fnatic away right here, even with Fnatic making all the decisions?
They could. I mean, they just won Fnatic's last map pick, so the advantage that Fnatic thought they had was not enough. And just great individual play, especially I like that call to Maimon's Echo was fantastic.
Yes.
And wherever we go next, this hybrid map type, I think Maimon can keep running Echo, and with Maimon and Kevster both firing on all cylinders, even this dominant backline in EJ and Izayaki might just not be enough.
Time to head back into the Kadia Arena. Fnatic, ENCE. Round 12 continues now.
I have to see what the hero bans are, what the map pick choice is. Fate, Fleta, backs against the wall.
Don't pick Midtown. Just don't do that.
They might, though. It just scrims, whatever scrims have been showing. But you were right. Fuck it.
We're going
Swap
to Germany,
sides.
baby.
Come over to the analyst desk.
I'm ready. I'm ready. 3 days in, I am ready to be right back here in the Overwatch world. So many talented players making it out to Riyadh, but we are down to just 11 teams left in the tournament. Fnatic trying to stay alive, or else we are down to the final 10, and Ilari is not going to be played. What are they trying to do, McGravy? You just kind of winced there.
Well, I think what it kind of is I don't think the Ilari is really a threat. It's more so protecting their supports and protecting their style. As ENCE had already banned Wrecking Ball, they can't do it again. So you just want to make sure the supports that you want to play with the Wrecking Ball stay in. So Ilari wasn't really a threat. I don't really think that ENCE was ever going to do that, but I think it's just kind of like a pseudo ban and just make sure that their style is protected.
On the left side, Vestola has showcased some spectacular diva play. You mentioned he's the best Sigma in the West. What is he running on Eichenwald?
I think it probably will be a diva dive. In the end, there's just so much verticality. Maybe a Sigma on a first point defense. You know, you can make that work. Banning the Winston, I think, is a good choice. Now for Donghack, it's kind of Doomfist or Wrecking Ball. However, I do think Fnatic, they did throw away Coliseum, but they should have won that map. I think an Ana, Brig, a Doomfist, or a Ball, whatever Donghack believes in, I do think they are favored to win this map and at least extend the series.
There's no Kai. Can there be a Widow pick to start this game for checkmate?
I hope not. I hate when people jump shot. I don't think it's even worth 5 seconds. At this level of play, everybody knows it's coming, but these players, they can't help themselves. You know, they just gotta go for that flashy play on land.
All right, so hit me up, McGravy. What is my rollout strategy if I'm Fnatic here?
I think both of these teams are, at this point, they're pretty set in their ways here. They're going to stick to their guns here. I expect both teams probably to run an Echo, probably run a Tracer, and like you said, the Diva, maybe an Ana Brig, but probably similar styles here is what I'm expecting.
Time to knock down the castle doors as we send it to Avril and Achilles for potentially the final map.
Thank you. Yes, it very well could end up being the conclusion of this series. Fnatic, can they fight back? Were able to do so yesterday to get themselves into the playoffs, to get themselves to this point, but it has been a very fast turnaround for them, and clearly ENCE has had the upper hand.
Typically so far in this series, the way it's gone has been that the team that picks their map has typically won it. That breaks when we go to Colosseo, although I have to say once again that Fnatic probably should have won it if it wasn't for that mistake towards the end. Now they get to go back to Eichenwald, another map they took against SSG yesterday. Mistakes aside, can they bring it back now? We don't have Winston's available, which means if Donghack wants to play dive, it's either going to have to be the Ball or it's going to end up having to be the Doom.
Well, Rack Attack calling it out.
But either way, Vestola being there on the Malga causes huge problems.
As Jake said, they just can't help themselves, and Kevster can't help but get the kill. Jake, egg on his face, but more so for Izayaki as he gets taken down by that opening Widow shot. How's that for style points, Jake?
Yeah, there it is right there. Kevster says, you know what, that 5 seconds totally worth it for me and my moment. It'll be Jake on us all. Call it a cap. I think this one might already be gone for A.
Yeah, they have to play it back. They have to wait. Lee Jae-gon, he can get back quickly with the rollout.
But Donghack can touch, so he goes for it.
Up and over the top, a big pile driver coming through. Instantly going to be greeted by some sticky bombs with the cap nearly there. 96.3% in Kevster. He is not done yet. He wants this to come to an end. Donghack going to be taken down. That's the staying power widely eliminated. And Rack Attack gets a piece as Izayaki will fall. And that is going to be this point done and dusted. 5:40. The time bank to start the push.
Yeah, I mean, what an opening pick from Kevster. You just have to respect
Show me that again,
Izayaki just, what is he? That is a unfortunate moment. Another violent jump moment, but this time not on a BAP. Dong goes over towards the Malga as well. Understands that the ball is not going to be effective here. Don't even bother going towards a Doom as Kevster's going to make this one count.
Oh, the readjust.
And barely had, you know, the frames to work with there to find that final shot, because like you said, it's a readjustment.
That is a disgusting shot to hit from Kevster. And has very much just shut down everything that Fnatic had in the game strategy, in the playbook here on this map. And now they're just continuing to push forward to the Portcullis, and they're just getting ripped apart.
Fnatic want to get some aggressive going there. I mean, they have a, I mean, they could try do something with the poke, but really, if you're playing a Malga, you got to get aggressive. Vistola swapped over towards the D.Va. That actually could have been a situation where Donghack says, I don't have to play the Malga because Vistola has the counter to the Malga. And guess what? Because it's Eichenwalder, you appreciate the fact that you can fly on this map. Donghack can't do that.
No, he cannot. Pulse bump at the ready, lobbing that one forward. Not going to be able to find the pick there. His knife. Would have been some desperately needed peel. Donghack whittled away at, taken down. Vistola able to find that kill. Will not be able to hold on to the mech. Does get broken out of that one, and the Baby D.Va likely to be killed off. But now you have to dupe in from Maimon. Goes in for another Kiriko, trying to build up and towards that Kitsune rush. But everybody playing back, denying line of sight, but it's still offering up space as the cart already making its way across the bridge just a minute and 40 after the cap on A came through.
Donghack's given up on trying to counter right now. He is just going to continue playing the Malga into the D.Va, and Vistola says, yes, please, that's exactly what I want. One ultimate available both sides, and the Dong goes deep right into a sound barrier, though.
He does, but yeah, as you say, sound barrier pulled in there from Rack Attack. Vistola now back into the mech. Mind you, he's been in Baby D.Va form this entire time. Now he's back into this one. Donghack is dead. Izayaki pulled the trigger here on this Kitsune rush. Rack Attack will fall. Some reprieve found here. Vistola off the side of the map. Cannot get out of that one. No way to pistol it way back through, so will just fall off the side, and Fnatic will find some semblance of control at long last.
There's some good news here for Fnatic. You're playing mostly a ground game now that you're at the end of the map, and because you also won that fight, you can take some of these castle high grounds. The bad news is once you're pushed back towards your spawn and you have to start touching, you are in a position where ENCE can have the high ground instead. One-to-one trade, both echoes down to Traces.
Yeah, they both can take it down, but there's the pulse bump on the floor. Donghack just sat on top of it. Takes quite a bit of damage, and Lijigon has to send the sound barrier just to try to bail him out. Vistola able to find Izayaki. Kevster on the retreat. Cannot escape. Knife is able to hound him down, but Donghack again leapt to dry. Sat there, slapped down that cage fight, and ends up losing the fight.
This is the chance for him to think about a swap. If you really want to keep playing the Malga to D.Va, it's not working out. Here comes the ball once more. That's what you actually want to play with. Sky looking for ultimate. That will be ENCE's capability and their opportunity to be at the cap.
Comes back through, pile drive the knock up here on a Rack Attack, but Maimon again having the upper hand here, taking down Checkmate, goes for the dupe, immediately is going to be able to find Izayaki, so now it's a two-man advantage here with that Kitsune rush on top for ENCE as they look to go ahead and continue this aggressive push forward. Cart getting closer and closer as they continue to bleed members out on the side of Fnatic, and now it's 3:45 for the final stretch.
So good for ENCE right now. This is looking so fantastic for their series, a 4-1, top 8 within their grasp. Sound barrier coming on through shortly for Rack Attack. It's Fnatic that have to do so much here to catch Izayaki and Checkmate up. You can copy over towards a D.Va, maybe a Tracer, slow things down. If you are Checkmate, you need to step up because my Mo has had your number.
Really has. The dupe about to come online. See what he opts for here, as it is at the ready. Rack Attack just trying to get this corral here onto the Wrecking Ball, keep Donghack at bay. Sound barrier once again online for him. Been able to build these up quickly because of how aggressively Fnatic have been playing, but the kills just haven't really been going their way. Sound barrier going to be out there from the side of ENCE, looking to just go ahead and survive. Dupe in onto the D.Va once again for the side of Checkmate, trying to build up towards that selfless truck. Pulse bump from Knife again, coming up short, unable to find a target. Stick not coming in, kill not found, but for now, ENCE are held back.
Just at the front of the castle gates here as well, so C point so far, reasonably good for the Fnatic defense. They still have Lijigon on the sound barrier. Waiting for opportunity from Sky, and it's going to be a tempo beat. They're not going to wait at all. I don't know if this is the ideal play to make, but they're going to go for it.
They try to turn the tides of this one. Again, the lob, and this time Kevster going to get punished. Lijigon able to turn back, finds the melee hit to put down the enemy Tracer, and Rack Attack will fall. Self-destruct going to be committed as well from Vistola, as well as the dupe. Maimon going for the copy here onto the Lucio. They want some staying power, but he needs to get the sound barrier online sooner rather than later, and he's going to get broken out of this dupe in the end. So ultimately, big overcommitment. It feels like here from the side of ENCE as the minefield comes in to try to cut off the retreat.
Yeah, normal players are going to go down. Sky's not going to play this ultimate at all. Fnatic have outplayed ENCE economically here. Donghack's burned the mines, and that's the only thing that ENCE can try and salvage from this situation. Probably not going to get the kill on Dong here. He's a really quick hero. Yep, gone. Make a health pack claimed. ENCE have really ruined their ultimate economy here. At least Vasola is going to go for some sort of a swap. I'd like to see Dong go back to spawn right now and go for a swap as well.
Let's see if that's going to be the case. But I mean, he's playing quite far forward here. Seeking target is a bit of a scattered fight, but it's going to be Maimon again, having the upper hand, taking out checkmate. Man advantage here for the side of ENCE's. Yeah, support's going to be ripped asunder. Knife is able to find one, takes down the enemy Echo, but stomp forward. Vasola taking down Izayaki. So those supports now gone from Fnatic, and they're going to have to play back as the Carton once again start moving forward.
Important that, I was going to say Sky has the ultimate available, can salvage their economy if he can just get us Katsuna Rush down front.
Rack Attack, though, Soundwave online. They do have staying power because Sky can TP back in.
Yeah, they have to wait for the 5. They do have to go back for Sky. The TP has a little bit of a range limitation, although it does go through walls. That allows Fnatic to just chill for a little while longer. That one kill onto Sky is so important for Fnatic to stay alive.
Vasola charging forward. There's the dupe. Checkmate going for the copy here. Onto the Malga, trying to get his own cage fight up, but that's going to be the break on the dupe, and the instant kill found as Kepster. Shots across. Beat held here by Lee Jae-gon, just trying to stay through with the Katsuna Rush, which has now expired. Donghak swooping in with a final one. Maimon going to be taken down. Lee Jae-gon still holding ult, and Kepster dead. Means that Fnatic can continue to hold on to this beat, keep that in the back pocket for a rainy day.
It's extremely important that Lee Jae-gon didn't die there. The beat unused as they go forward for one last contest that ENCE will have to go through. Donghak kiss the spawn doors challenge completed. Not very difficult for a ball, to be fair, but the cage is super important here. What are you going to do when Vasola goes up? Cage is likely to hit somebody, and Lee Jae-gon has to make a choice. Do you go in the cage to go for a sound barrier, or do you let that player die?
Donghak for now just trying to intercept, trying to keep them all busy, stop them from making their way forward. The cage has to be used outside of the castle walls, and Sky's going to be taken down. Checkmate able to find the kill. Back cap attempt here from Kepster, though. The dive in, Rack Attack. They're starting to work this one forward. And what a disaster this would be here, but now they've realized the game. They know what's happening. A knife with the pulse bomb will put Vasola down. Cleanup can come through. They shorten that gap between here and the finish line just a little bit more, but ENCE cannot make it to the end of the map, it would seem. Overtime will bleed down, and Fnatic have somewhat rescued this defense.
And that's a great decision-making play come through from Fnatic to go super aggressive right towards the end. You can force the C9 there. At minimum, you force somebody to go and touch. Forcing the cage also in the castle outside on B, because what are you supposed to do if you're ENCE? You don't want to just like ignore Dong. This is a team fight. It's officially a team fight now. And so you're in a situation where half your team is committed to the cage in the team fight outside on B, but you still have to touch. You split your team members. A few members go touch, a few members stay, but you lose everywhere. And as you mentioned, you're going to gain a couple of meters, but you're not going to actually get a real C9 against Fnatic, because as soon as they clean up Vasola and the rest of the members on B, they come back, they defend the point, and you just don't have the numbers. But still a good amount of distance. Credit to Fnatic to be able to stop that after a disastrous A. They slowed things down on B and managed to actually defend C. It is still winnable, but how do you get past the Vasola Malga? When Fnatic come through on their opening attack, it might have to be Donghak just mirroring the Malga for now.
Let's see what they land on. But a bit of an inverse situation from Circuit Royale. ENCE held near the finish line, stopped, not able to complete the map. A win condition set up here for Fnatic to try to hang on in this series.
I do think based on the time that Fnatic had, or rather that ENCE had going into that C attack and the economy they had, they should have been able to finish. My issue here is that I think they misplayed their ultimate economy and kind of used some ults when they probably shouldn't have.
And we saw a double commit after, supports had already been taken down.
Yeah, exactly. So a little cleanup there would have allowed ENCE to cap. However, they can still win this map. In fact, they're probably still favored to win this map given the matchup disparity. As Donghak probably going back over towards the Malga. You just can't really play the ball into this on A, so here we go.
Quick check, mirrored compositions. Minimal time used there. 340. As we start opening things up now on the push. Let's see what they can get done. Knife taking some early damage, will be sustained. Zayaki surging towards that first Katsuna rush as Maimon just having to tuck back.
Fnatic trying to buy some space here. Izayaki getting a decent amount of ult charge, actually leading the way for the team so far.
And surging up now to 60%.
It's taking so much damage.
Okay, Donghak falling low, but the turnaround is going to be there. Vasola and Maimon both going to be eliminated. massive advantage here for the side of Fnatic as they look for a very fast cap of their own.
That looked like checkmate. That looked like a lot of stickies all at the same time because checkmate's on 85 right now, my Moan's on 47, and a cap comes through not quite as fast as ENCE's one, but for Fnatic, given their situation, it's pretty damn good. And now we have the Solar swap over towards the Diva. We're back on B. High ground, low ground play is important. You also have a situation where you want to counter the Malga, and Donghak, this is permission for him to go back to the ball should he want to, and he probably should after this fight. Well, after the cage, maybe, actually, even.
Pulse bomb at the ready here from Kevster. Kept honest for now. Just passive healing, back up to full.
By the way,
sticking around the back, looking for a target, but Izayaki not going to be the prime one there because, of course, that Suzu going to be online.
Jigon doesn't have ult yet. Sky and Rack Attack do.
A very good point. Lijigon still lingering behind at 67%, trying to build up towards that beat. For now, ENCE pushing forward, taking some space, taking control of this card. Also, taking note is the Knife's position. They know that the pulse bomb's used, and it's going to be a while until he has the next one, so the backline can breathe a little bit more easily.
What's a super important disengage because you know you're down one ultimate here, so that's how you equalize that one ultimate disadvantage.
Okay, dupe for dupe, going to be coming through. Maimon kind of having to use that one in a little bit of a desperate situation. Was at risk of being taken down. Donghak now trying to fight back here against this one. As Team Matrix is going to be exchanged on either side, just trying to keep everybody protected. Rack Attack drops in with the beat. Lijigon about to have his online. Zayaki gets in a rush, expiring. The cart starting to get away from ENCE, who have traded positions. Vistola opens things up. Checkmate going to be taken down.
Need the cage to be played here. This is the moment. Fnatic might only have 4, but you're still committed. You're still pushing. Cage, who does it catch?
I'm going to be jumped on Kevster. He gets caught up in it. Ends up getting taken down. Can't use that ultimate. Still the beat available here as well, but for now the cart stagnant, not able to push forward as there's the self-destruct. Vistola just trying to dance around that one, tucks it back around the corner, drops down with the mech, is able to get back through, and Maimon at the same time is able to find Izayaki, but now Sky's going to be taken out. We get a trade out here on these Kitikos. Beat dropped, 3 members shielded up here from Lijigon, seeking target, but still Vistola forward, still being a pain in the rear.
Rack Attack on 1 HP, but survives. No, Knife gets him down, so possible advantage to come through here, but we get a swap immediately. My Moan still could get traded out, so ENCE, they're still going to be down 1. 4 versus 3, slightly better spawns for Fnatic, but as we push over towards the bridge, ENCE should be able to fully regroup for one last contest. So a lot of time here for Fnatic to go over towards C if they can cap this now.
I mean, crucially right now, ENCE, they're going to have that economic advantage when, as far as the ult are concerned. The Kitsune rush from Sky up at the BL9, but Kevs are going to be taken down. Checkmate, a crucial kill coming in here in their favor. Rack Attack, annihilated. Knife with an elimination might have just managed to seal the deal here on this push into B. Checkmate traded out. Maimon able to find that kill. The Duke about to be online. Vistola going to be knocked out of the mech. Donghak swinging back through the castle. Duke comes in. Maimon trying to equalize here. Picks up that Malga. Gets the touch in time. Pulse bomb going to be sent out, but elimination not going to be found. Cage fight comes up. Suzu used here to try to just spare some of this damage coming in, but Izayaki somehow stays alive for quite some time, but eventually Maimon is able to find the elimination.
Brad
out of the mech. The beat comes through. Rack on the rejoin, managing the shield up for Lijigon going to be taken down. Donghak eliminated as Checkmate goes off the side, and the hold is there. 0.35 meters left to go, but still 2 minutes and 20 seconds for Fnatic.
That's a giant clutch from Maimon. I think Maimon might have been the most important play here for ENCE the entire way through. This Echo has been absolutely dynamite. He stays alive, gets a crucial copy, finds a cage in a situation where Fnatic probably should have capped, allowing Rack Attack to come back with a beat, and then Maimon just... He does what ENCE need him to do in a situation that was so dire.
He clutched up, but now ult's swinging back here into the favor of Fnatic. Kitsune Rush going to be coming through the cage fight as well. Going to be dropped down. Vistola knocked out of the mech immediately. Self-destruct used, seeking target, but only going to be claiming the cage. He gets back into the mech safely, but he's immediately losing quite a bit of HP as Sky does fall. Vistola will be broken out of this one. His ENCE just desperately try to delay as much as they possibly can, get rid of some of this time, but ultimately the cap is getting ready to come through. As that's the cleanup, that's the extended team kill, and it's 3 minutes that ENCE need to buy if they want to end the series right here, right now.
You see the desperation there as well. Checkmate even ulting when it looked like Fnatic probably had won the fight. This time, it's not really the same capability to clutch from ENCE because they don't have the same ultimate. So that's one Duke gone. As Visola's going to go back over towards Amalga, so yeah, losing a bit of confidence on the Diva on the ENCE side as well. The ultimate's about to come online for ENCE, and as you mentioned, Kevster on the Genji. But it's a fresh Genji.
That blade going to be a world away. Sticky bombs finding minimal connection there as Lijigon pulls the trigger on this beat. They want to try to end things right here, right now. In response to that, Kitsune Rush and Sky will be the first one taken down.
I'm on near the cage.
I'm on again. Yep, cage online. Drops that one through. Donghak going to be gunned down, as will the supports and Checkmate. Karn inches forward a little bit there, more by the side of Knife, but team kill is going to be found. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here for ENCE on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, so much damage. My Moan just had a copy not that long ago, and 2 fights later, 1 more copy. Crucially, once again, onto the Malga, and he finds another cage. If it wasn't for that, I think Fnatic, once again, win that fight, are in a much better situation. Knife now going over towards the Venture for the final cap. The final few pushes with less than 2 minutes remaining.
Blade not that far off. Pistola eating quite a bit of damage there. Rotates back around.
They need it's Izayaki Kitsune rush. That's what's got to come online.
They have the beat. And Kevster will have the blade, so could just be that combo to try to really counteract this. As it's going to be the beat first and foremost. Izayaki now using the ult in response. Blade is pulled by Kevster, protected for the moment, but kept at arm's length. The boot back from Lee Jae Gon, doing wonders for them, and he just cannot find a target. He's got to resheath that Pistola. Going low, taken down. Knife finds the kill. Rack attack eliminated the beam from Checkmate, sealing the deal. Drill dash forward, just keeping them pushed back. Kevster will follow the card again, pushing up 0.36 meters, and this time there is no bailout, there is no rescue. Fnatic sparing the blushes from the start of that defense. They manage to make it to the end, and they keep this series going.
4-1 scoreline denied here. Or is it going to go further into the series? A map 6 on board. And what a tight one that was. ENCE nearly cleaned it up, but it's important for the conference of Fnatic to realize, okay, we can win these brawl matchups. The Malga on Dongak, it's good enough. My Moan nearly won that one for ENCE. It was so close. The Echo was so clean. And the most important thing I saw there was actually the fact that Vistola eventually has to swap away from the Diva. Diva, one of the natural counters to Malga. ENCE is like, this is not working for us anymore. And unfortunately, I'll have to be the one to say this. My Moan, he played well, but Kevster a little quiet that series. Kept in check for the most part. He had a couple of good moments here or there, but the Genji swap, not very inspirational. Knife, though, the Venture swap, now that put a lid onto Kevster.
No, very much did. Just able to shove that Genji back, keep him contained, stop him from doing what Genji wants to do. Fnatic digging deep and persevering.
By the way,
they keep this series going.
It has to be mentioned before we go to desk here that the entire map pool is now open once again. And ENCE have full pick priority across the board. Now, the only bad thing here is that we're deep into the series and most of the critical bans are gone. You want to target most of the good heroes out from these plays, it's going to be very difficult to do. However, map choice, super important. You can go absolutely anywhere in this map pool that you want to, and that includes situations where you can look at the Sigma again, you can look at a Diva matchup, you can look at Shambali Monastery, which ENCE has played for the majority of this tournament, but they still have open.
Well, we'll see what they elect to go to, but we're not done yet, so we will go ahead and pass it back down to the analysts to break down all of the insanity from Mike and Bolt.
Where we have Karn fist pumping with joy. Fnatic still alive, and he desperately needs them in the top 8 to earn points for the club championship. On the other side, ENCE, as Avril said, are kind of in the driver's seat. McGravy explained the situation. We've played 5 maps. We've played every game mode. It's not very often we see more maps thrown into the series in a best of 7.
Yeah, I think starting from Fnatic's side, you get a small breath of relief for continuing the series, but as Avril was saying, ENCE has all the control here. They have all the maps. They can pick anything. What do you think, Jake?
You know, their only downside is that some of their very strongest looks, like let's say on a Circle Royale with Kai and Vistola, those are out of the pool. So you can play any map type.
Pause that real quick as we have to revisit this game. I'm sorry, Jake. We'll talk future. But right now, what did you see on Eichenwald?
I mean, in the end, the strengths from Fnatic are serious. They are formidable. In the Malga mirror, I feel Fnatic has a slight edge. The dive mirror, when it's the ball into the Diva, that does look a little bit better for Fnatic. So I think there is a way forward. The challenge for Fnatic is going to be navigating some of these Sigma poke styles, because when they are in this overwhelming aggression, I feel like this puts a ton of pressure on support players in particular. And for me, that is Fnatic's edge.
When you saw Venture coming out, you said, oh, this is what Fnatic needed. They need to put that pressure on Rack Attack. How often can I pull this hero out, McGravy? And is that potentially a ban hero for ENCE moving forward?
Yeah, I think they can pull it out more than they already have. I think they kind of rely on it in these kind of close quarter situations, but I think it's something that's a little more applicable even in open scenarios. Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on Rack. We saw it before on Lee Jae Tower. He did Ajax, and that was almost directly from the Venture.
Lots of pressure on the fill-in support. He's done a great job up to this point, and ENCE is just one map away. So, Jake, now take it away. ENCE is in the driver's seat, but missing their best maps?
I do think some of the most obvious dominant choices are out of the pool. So you might have map pick and you can decide what's your most comfortable mode, but some of these super decisive, controlling not only your hero band, but also setting us up with that really great map for ENCE, some of those are already gone. So there is the Shambali Monastery. You could go for that poke style there, but I think there are viable counters available for Fnatic. So really, time to dig deep if you are Crimzo. You really want to lock this up here, hit Fnatic with your strongest punch. The worry is, if Fnatic survives this map, if they force a Game 7, ENCE, what do you have left? So really, if you're Crimzo, you've got to close it out right now. A Game 7 would really put a lot of wind in Fnatic's sails.
Control is basically a death match. Will we see them just go toe-to-toe, or do you think this is going to be a more strategic pick?
I think normally they would avoid control, but I think Busan is an interesting case because the maps are so dynamic and they're so different. I think Busan Sanctuary is very open. You could play that Sigma style, but on the other side, Fnatic could also play the ball, so you're scared of that. So I think Busan is something to think about, but I do think generally they would kind of lean towards maybe like an escort pick. That's kind of generally where I think their strengths lie.
How about New Queen Street, Jake?
Another great ball map, though, and honestly, the way this series has gone, I think you got to put some respect on Donghak's ball. It's been banned out once. It is protected, at least for the side of Fnatic. For the rest of the series, I don't think you want to go anywhere near Donghak's ball. I mean, he is tearing it up. I think the matchup, Vistola's Diva, Donghak's ball, it's been going towards the ball. So for me, maybe the Shambali, maybe you bring Mirror back out, try to close out the series the way you got that early lead on Circuit Royale.
Our comp ops are super fans of Overwatch. We're going to be here till at least 2 a.m., probably 5 a.m. if these series continue to play this tight. So let's talk about what's going to happen here in this next map. If you're ENCE, if you're trying to get some sleep before the round of 8, we're closing it out. It's not just Kevster. Do you put Maimon back on the Echo? Is he back in the lineup, or are you going to be switching up your DPS again?
I think you want to stay with Maimon. He's been a real boon on the Echo. And also, I was thinking about it. I think Ilios is also something in particular because you haven't seen Donghak play the Winston. For whatever reason, that's just been something they've kind of shied away from this entire tournament. So maybe you take it to Ilios and say, hey, we're playing Diva, invite them to play Winston, and see if they're ready to take that matchup.
Jake, we mentioned it during the other game. Is Zarya potentially going to come out against the Diva from Vistola?
We could see it, but I don't think Vistola would be as scared to take the mirror, and I think Vistola does have other options. I am a little worried now as I look at this for ENCE. I don't know that there's a super obvious pick. I like the Hollywood shout-out.
Okay.
I think that's a place where Sigma first-point defense can sometimes hit big full holds, and I think Diva is really at her best on that map compared to a Wrecking Ball is not nearly as dominant. Might be your best shot, but this is a challenge, right? We're deep in the scrim pool. How much have ENCE really played against teams running Wrecking Ball? You don't see it very much in NA. Donghak's one of the best in the world. You probably rarely practice against someone of that caliber. You know, ENCE, they were boot camping in Europe. They weren't practicing against some of these Korean teams, so there's a bit more unknowns here. The question is for Crimzo, do you stick with what's your biggest confidence where your scrims have been the best, or do you try to take Fnatic out of their comfort zone and force something totally different?
Here's a look at our stage as the coaches just locked in their picks and bans. Fate on the right for Fnatic is the key decision maker for his squad. But as you mentioned, it's ENCE who has the opportunity to draw the map, pick the first hero banned, and we've banned a lot of good ones so far, McGravy. If you are on the other side for ENCE, who are you trying to target on this Fnatic squad? Who do you shut down with a hero ban?
I feel like the core of this team is really Donghak and his playstyle, but there's not a lot of bans left. They've already done the Wrecking Ball. I'm not sure if they've done the Doomfist, but I'm not sure there's a lot of Doomfist maps left in general. And if you do ban the Doomfist, he's just going to go Wrecking Ball anyways. So it's really hard to say. Maybe you target like the backline from Fnatic. You maybe deny the Brig or the Ana and make them play that fast style, and hopefully you beat them on that.
If I'm the coach of ENCE right now, I'm going to all 5 of my players and I'm saying, give me one more map and I will give you $20,000 more. You are guaranteed $40K if you break into the top 8, and that's what's on the table for ENCE. For Fnatic, I think you're playing for more than money. You're playing for some pride right now. You're playing for the $20 million in the club championship, Jake.
Yeah, I think the ownership of Fnatic really is desperate for this team to succeed. I think the Overwatch tournament is a massive opportunity for Fnatic to score some points. And although they started off the tournament a little bit rocky, they've been finding a comeback here. Can the comeback be enough to swim them back into the series? That is a tall order, right? This is ENCE's biggest chance to punch back hard, take it to their comfort zone with potentially the first ban.
We're in the stage, so it's time to see what heroes are going to be banned and where does ENCE want to play. Kevster, stellar performance throughout this match. He's definitely one of our MVP nominees. And Jake, do you pick a map to allow your DPS to just simply frag out? Looks like we're going Midtown, staying some flat.
Got to see the hero bans to really tell us more. I think this is a map where all three main styles of Overwatch are viable. You can rush, you can poke, you can dive. So let's see what ENCE has cooked up in the bans here. See what they've chosen to shape this map on Midtown. And it's the Ana, as you said, McGravy, targeting the backline. The Ana Brig looked fantastic for Fnatic, so I love this ban.
Yeah, what I really think you're looking for in Midtown is I do feel like Vestilla might lean towards the Sigma on this map. I think Ana, essentially in this tournament, is pretty much a pseudo Winston ban. They don't want to get ran over by that Nano Primal. That's a super lethal combo against the Sigma comp.
On the other side, it's Fnatic's turn.
Sigma's already been banned, can't use it.
Where are we going? Pharah will not be in the game. Jake, this one catch you off guard? Are they just running out of heroes to ban?
Yeah, I mean, you would have loved to, I think, ban the Sigma here. I think it would have been great, but you already used that on Circuit Royale.
Yep.
That card has been expended. The Pharah ban, I think, sure, it's nice, but DPS bans against this ENCE squad, I don't think they're the most effective, but like you guys said, you know, they're running out of options. So the Pharah ban, I guess it does protect a little bit of, you know, some of these pokey styles where Pharah can rain down death from above. But we will see Kai coming into the lineup, so...
Snipey McSnipes?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great map for hit scan. Kai has performed fantastically when he comes in on Midtown before. He could be just the person that ENCE need to close the series out.
Out of the 3 hit scans, what's Kai's best?
His best is probably the Widowmaker. It's what he's known for the most. I played with him. He was probably arguably a top 2 Widowmaker. But I think probably on this map, he's going to start on the Ashe. But I do think on that second point, and especially that third point, there is a potential to see the Widowmaker.
Mirror's back in. Does that mean Ilaria is going to be in the game?
Almost certainly, and I think with the Ana ban, I like what ENCE have set themselves up for. I think it's going to be really tough for Fnatic to hit a fast dive style without that Ana to nano in the aggressors. I think Mirror is going to have a big opportunity to close the series out alongside Kai.
It's 3-2. Fnatic needs this to force a Game 7, but it's all ENCE's pick. The map is loaded. Let's send it up to Achilleos and Avril.
Is this the end of this series? Can ENCE finally bring this to a conclusion, or will Fnatic give us a 7-map banger here in the set to try to keep their life alive? What can I say? So we go ahead and jump into Midtown.
ENCE have the capability to play the Sigma here. That is something that Fnatic cannot do without attack, and they should not be putting attack in the roster at all. I said at the beginning of the series, it needs to be Dongak the entire way through. We'll see him now. The question will be, how do Fnatic respond to all of this? Now, I believe that Fnatic have a secret weapon in here that ENCE are not going to be prepared for. They have forgotten the fact that Dongak can, in fact, play the Ryan. You're not going to see it on the defense, at least not yet. So, if you want to play double flex support with that Sigma, it is critically, potentially quite weak to that Ryan. I know Fnatic is not SSG, but Dongak knows how to play this hero. Checkmate is a fantastic May. You have the capability with Fnatic on their own attacking side. It's going to run over ENCE, but for now, it's ENCE attacking first. Dong going to start out onto the Malga. Pretty neutral pick. Pistola, though, has a pretty good matchup into this.
Knife just sat here, though. As he strikes, let's go ahead. Listen to the comms on the side of ENCE.
Get one. Get one. Get in one. Okay, I'll go diva, I think. Go diva.
Okay, just scout the DPS, okay?
Yeah, Trace is gonna hide every time.
Can you go Tracer camp?
No, it's nice.
I go swim.
Or clears up left. I think Trace is gonna hide bottom left a bit. If you bind. Trace one, my ping.
Okay.
Go.
Where?
Cherry.
Lucy one. Blue one.
That. Okay.
Come on.
Rama.
No pinless, take space. Blue left.
One.
On 3. Go miss well.
They're ready top.
Genji above. Low. Mag one.
Yeah, train.
John. Get me. Low on. Dead.
Carry
Go
one.
up, kill, I'm no mech. Need to get to point. They're gonna retake.
Genji upside, I want to kill Genji. Yeah, walk on Genji together.
Yeah, I'm touching point.
Look, I'm gonna bait them out. Kite to mega. They touching on monkey.
Hey, monkey
Level
fast.
copy. I kite to mega.
They have Kiri ult.
Take angle, Bear.
Yeah, top right. Yeah, top right.
I'm going to mega.
We're starting point. They're gonna touch for sure. One
Left,
kill left
left.
side.
Yeah, I'm playing top. Right side.
On me.
One kill.
Kill me. We have copy soon.
Yeah, I'm touching point.
Low, right side.
Go on. I'm pushing this up.
Gap point. Gap point.
Get you one.
Carry me. Yeah, carry you.
I'm late.
Okay, they didn't use anything. They stopped the match. Hey, Good listen.
Well, solid recovery there from the side of ENCE. Things getting a little bit dicey at the beginning, but Kai with some very big kills, steps back through, plays the Ashe, and looks incredible.
And an important swap over from Vistola into the Diva as well to counter the Malga, and Dongak doesn't have a bar of that. Bit of a pause coming on through from the Fnatic side, and a lot to think about here as we are now into a bit of a dive matchup. This actually is really good in terms of composition for Fnatic. They would prefer to be in the dive. They don't really want to have to play the Malga. If they don't have to, they know Vistola is just going to go for the counter. And in this situation, you have Lucio carry because Ana is banned. There's not going to be Brig Ana, although to be honest with you, I think this Fnatic squad has performed plentiful well despite the Ana being gone. You don't need the Brig Ana here, although it would be nice. Blade's about to be online here as well. There's a lot coming online for the side of Fnatic as we figure out what the technical issues are. Now, there's a bit of a scare. We're hoping a player doesn't end up disconnecting because if they reconnect, they'd probably end up losing their ult.
Very true. We're gonna hope that that's not the case. Don't believe that it is. But hopefully something that we can get taken care of fairly quickly. We've had a couple hiccups throughout the weekend, but widely. There you go. I was gonna say they have been dealt with fast, so we're right back into this one. Push now beginning for the side of ENCE. 4 minutes, 10 seconds here in the time bank is Knife. Gonna be swooping around the back side. Pulse bomb at the ready. Just decides to clear out the pylon. Just get tagged down, but Kai, he's able to find Izayaki in the meantime.
Suzu clears the captive Sun, but unfortunately it's not going to clear Kai from taking you down. That's going to be one off the table for Fnatic. At least it's a Kiriko that can TP back into play, but you need to get these ultimates online because ENCE, they're pushing forward. Fnatic, okay, they have the ultimates, but time to execute here as Knife still looking for the flank. It's been spotted.
How do you try to close this gap? It's going to be hopping up. Oh my God! What a predictive pulse bomb, and he's able to confirm the kill on the back end. That was absolutely nasty from Knife.
Yeah, screw the lamp there. The immortality field doesn't matter. You still get taken down at 1. I'm still going to kill you. Knife just going to turn it in as he shoves it straight down. But what a disgustingly good pulse.
That was nasty, and yeah, he will lose his life here. Mirror with a solid punish to try to open things back up for the push, but good to see just that long linger come to fruition.
It's one of those situations where if he missed, we'd be like, why did he do that? That was pretty bad. But because he hit, incredible stuff. So, ENCE, what do we have to play through here? High ground control, barely obtained. Jigon being pushed up ever so slightly. Remember, huge diving tools coming on in. Beat Blade.
Blade to be pulled out, and Kai to first the fall. The bomb did get invested. Meanwhile, Immortality Field sat here, and it will be the bomb actually taking down Checkmate out of range. Didn't quite see exactly where the bomb had ended up. Either way, he does find that elimination. The Captains are now finding Izayaki, and Lee Jigon taken down by Vistola, who does have something to start to get himself back into the back. A little bit of peel going to be necessary here for Sky, but none to be found as Donghak will be able to juggle him into the corner. But in the meantime, the cart continues to push forward, get closer and closer to that B checkpoint.
Sky counting his lucky stars there. That he had a guardian angel called Bob looking over his shoulder. Still not going to protect him from the primal rage. The fact that Donghak has to primal rage here is going to be a little bit costly. And so you're in a sort of situation now where momentum is all but slowed down on B. Plus you're in a dive mirror, but you don't have a real main support. You're on a Diva double flex with a Tracer, with an Ashe. So it's still kind of pokey. It's mostly a poke composition with a Tracer. The Fnatic are fine to this. They love playing the Winston to this.
Sinner Rush about to be online. Another captive stun attempt here from Mirror and 25%. As for now, Knife trying to do similar scenes, trying to recreate that success from earlier on, but has to wait out, get that recall back up, and Kevzer coming forward, trying to get the punish here. Knows that he doesn't have that recall. In the meantime, Mirror going to be taken down. Pulse bomb set, and there's the kill. Kevzer getting the elimination, but Sky, Kai, all dead. Well, Kevster's busy trying to deal with Knife. He says, yeah, well, my team is having their way with yours, so it doesn't matter.
And the stagger now. Paul Vistola. We'll keep him alive for a little while here, as it's an inconsequential kill onto Izayaki, who will TP back in. ENCE, this is the risk of bringing Mirror in for a map like Midtown. Now, they ran Mirror on Midtown previously yesterday versus Zeta, but that was versus Burnout. You know it's going to be a Sigma Mirror. They lost their Sigma Mirror, by the way, but when you go up against Fnatic, Dong can switch it up for you. He's going to go the Winston. Now you are stuck on this double flex versus the Winston. Here comes the Captain Sun.
Waiting for it.
Nearly deflect. Oh,
yeah,
check
looking
the
for
deflect.
it. Leechigang going to be taken out. First kill, only one found thus far. Kevster hunting for more. Receives that recall. Cart once again being brought forward. 42 seconds remaining here for the side of ENCE.
Check's in trouble.
Needs to tuck back, and looks like for now will be left to his own devices, so not going to be punished quite just yet, but can he rejoin with the team? The answer is going to be yes. Comes back through, sound barrier immediately differently. Jengron gets the shielding out onto 5. Kai, Mir, both going to be taken down to Vistola. Likely to lose the mech. 25 seconds remaining.
Stagger.
And yeah, they're just going to stagger him. Brutality found. Sky.
Check dying doesn't matter.
Yeah, can only get one, that's it.
Leave Vistola right. Let him run back to spawn. Like, I mean, actually, no, he's going to get mech back. Oh, no, that is so bad. Oh, he tried to remake and he dies. There's no time. There's no time. Vistola's not going to spawn. And Kevster has to touch. I don't think ENCE are going to cap this. Kevster has to touch right now.
Trying to work his way over onto the cart. I just don't think they can get there. No, they cannot. The cart now resting just in front of point B.
This, right at the end, Mirror even goes break. ENCE know that this is a incredibly bad situation. They have gambled on a Sigma double flex, but guess what? What happens now that we're in a dive matchup? Mirror is stuck in. Can't bring Rack Attack in. Maybe you should have kept Rack Attack. Mirror is basically only playing the Illari here, and the Illari, unfortunately, is not doing diddly squat in this matchup. What you need isn't a Lucio. What you need is possibly even a break. Mirror can't play Lucio. He has to go break, but I don't know if he's actually practiced on the break. And now you're stuck in a situation where, as I said earlier, how do you defend this now? You're Vistola. Do you go Sigma? Do you rely on the Sigma double flex Mirror? Look at this. What does he lock in? This will tell you everything. Still, the Illari. It's his best here in this matchup, but look over at Dong. I said this at the beginning. The secret weapon is here. The Rhine is always an option, which is why Vistola cannot just play Sigma off rip. It has to be the Diva double flex. But if Dong sees this, he's like, great, playing Winston again. Maybe the Doom's even an option. If you play Sigma, I go Rhine. If you play Diva, I go Dive. If I go Dive, Mirror stuck on this Illari. Fnatic have a very strong chance of taking this to 7.
The stage is set for them. Ready to take the final bout, and maybe into
they're expecting
a final map.
The Sig. This is why they go on the Rhine first. They expect the Sig. Once they scout the Diva, they're going to go back.
Pushing forward, about to get the bad news in that regard, but no, they're actually just going to play this one out. The TP forward. Scouting be damned. They're just going to try to ham-fist this one through.
It's actually maybe okay for ENCE in this situation. They still have to find angles. I mean, yeah, you can poke away. But once the TPs are on you, what do? Reasonable wall.
We're looking for the wall up here on Amir. He does get stopped. The Mortality Field coming through in response. Izayaki going to be taken down by Sky. Traded out. Checkmate, however, falling means that it's a trade up here for ENCE, and it's a successful first volley on this defense. Kai unable to be punished, and Donghak now, well, basically just going to be staggered a little bit more. I'm curious to see what the swaps now look like.
I don't think they should stay on this, but they've already kind of half committed. They should play to their strengths. The Rhine is here to counter the Sig. It's not here to play up against the Diva. Because they didn't scout, they fully committed, and now because they've like halfway towards ultimates, they're going to stay on this still. Vistola now on the ramp. This is preferable. ENCE's matchup just improved.
Here dropping down, playing here into the back. At risk of getting jumped on, and he will. Donghak able to confirm the kill, and that's going to be a critical error now. One that could very well spiral out of control. Stole it on the ramp. It is a big battery, though, for that ramp up from Knife's damage, so it has to be cautious. Pulse Pump going to be lobbed in. Immortality Field already there. Izayaki keeping them protected. Donghak falling low, but the heals streaming across. Vistola falling the cap now. At risk here. Izayaki will get cleaned up, but it's still such a one-sided affair on this fight. Fnatic in control, getting the cap.
There's no retake here at all. Vistola dies, and ENCE will have to just play towards a B. The issue here is that you still need a Lucio. Ram double flex. This doesn't work. You're in a brawl matchup now. If you're in a dive matchup, the Illari doesn't work. If you're in a brawl matchup, the Illari doesn't work. This only works if you end up in a situation where you play a poke composition, but if you play poke composition, the Rhine runs you down. So Mira, again, is just stuck on the Illari.
Trying to find value, trying to get that captive Sun to see if he can get any kind of impact here from it before ultimate's available for the side of Fnatic. Kai has the Bob, several on the way from the side of ENCE, but they need them sooner rather than later. They need them right now.
You should just TP in. Don't give ENCE any time. You have ultimate advantage. You give more time, ENCE will find ultimate. So if Fnatic have read the situation correctly, they got to get aggressive.
Watch for that TP, Earth's Shatter coming through. Up over the top goes Donghack looking for the pin. Trying to get the catch here, but now he's overstepped the Bob again. Going to be doing wonders here. Able to go ahead and burn down Donghack. Checkmate dead on the approach, and that's quite a bit invested actually for the side of Fnatic. Both support ultimates now going to be gone.
Honestly, not the best execution. I mean, you have, unfortunately, Dong going so far deep trying to get that pin in that he misses the sound bat from Lee Jae-gon. You need this guy alive because even if things go poorly, the Rhine Shatter can save you. You did at least get the Bob out. You got the, kept the Sun out, which I don't think was going to be super useful there. Still have plenty to play through. I think Fnatic are still in an okay spot, but they just lose a lot of time.
I mean, still do have 3:20 remaining here in the time bank. Push forward, just trying to disregard his Ant Matrix as much as possible. The Shatter coming through. Vistola going to be pinned, pushed up over into the wall, but the kill not going to be confirmed. Annihilation ticking away. Vistola able to find the kill, but will get punished in the end. Kevzer, however, still fighting back. Finds Izayaki. Scott going to be traded. As Kai jumped on down to his sliver, somehow survives, grabs the Mega Pack. And the cart not moving.
And the problem here is Fnatic stayed on the Rhine for so long because they just had the Shatter available. They want to go over towards something like a Winston. Vistola instantly stopped. I think if you're Dong, you might just want to go back to spawn again. I mean, you just got out of spawn. This really should have gone so much better. I mean, if Fnatic executed better on the Rhine composition, this is why, like, they have the capability to play it, but they're not SSG. I think SSG would have executed that cleanly, perfectly, and maybe have capped B by now. Fnatic should have capped B based on their advantage, but they just completely misplayed.
Now an opportunity for ENCE still to try to close this one. The cart stuck here at the top of the ramp, now moving forward once more. Donghack has moved over onto the Malga Dynamite. Try to create some space here. It's going to be a rotate around through the subway up towards the high ground. Pulse bomb from Kevster at the ready, though.
Very hard to Blizzard. Very hard to Blizzard here.
That wall raised up, looking for a pinch here, but the HP bars on the side of Fnatic are just getting absolutely wrecked. And Lee Jae-gon going to be taking down. The Bob continues to find value here from Kai. Kevster now cleaning up knife. Donghack dead. And that's the Blizzard committed. Checkmate. He's going to have to swap.
This is really upsetting to see from Fnatic because they've had such great advantages and capability, but they're now behind tempo-wise from the momentum perspective. ENCE have survived the brunt of all that Fnatic want to do. They've now forced a Malga matchup when this could have already been the map finished. If the Rhine just simply worked out, if the execution was good. Now Lee Jae-gon looking at the sound barrier. ENCE, they might still be able to win this one. Where does the Captive Sun go?
Seeking target. It's going to be right there on top of Knife. Nearly finds the kill. Sound barrier shield from Lee Jae-gon coming through in desperation, trying to keep everybody alive. But Lee Jae-gon himself, the one to pull the trigger, he's going to be taken down. Checkmate gone. Donghack dead. And ENCE now fully and utterly entrenched on the defense.
Yeah, Fnatic just can't engage at all. Vistola's doing such a good job alongside Kevster of just disrupting the rotations. And then Kai Muriska on the back lines, able to just get that poke in. And this is the unfortunate reality, right? This is where you start to turn that mirror disadvantage back into an advantage. How? Because you're in a Malga matchup, and the poke is just so good here, where the opposition is also on Malga. That is case in point.
Vistola just gets on top of him now, has the cage fight. Rotates in around the back here, alongside Donghack, drops it down, locks him in position, and there's just no escape. He does manage to find Kai, but Mirror starting to look a bit more like the Mirror that we had seen over on Circuit Royale. Cleans up the other four.
This could have gone so poorly for ENCE, but they've turned this around now. They just have such great control, and Fnatic,
30 seconds.
Almost a second map slipping away from them. The 7 could have been here, but I don't think it will anymore. It's not looking likely. Kai has not died for so long. ENCE have such great control here. Fnatic have no ability to engage this high ground. They barely have ultimates, and the time is basically gone. And they still have an OT push.
Pulse bomb stick, Knife trading 1 for 1. And Kevster getting the better of him. Cart needing to be touched. There it is. The tag in, the overtime, forced out. Pylon in the corner, the Bob, again, engaging. The cage fight drop from Donghack. As Kai
No
tries
pressure
to
on
turn
Kai.
this one. Each fight in, Dong has the trap here on Vistola, the immortality field coming through, and Kevster able to find checkmate. He gets taken down. Kevster finding another. Mirror gonna be eliminated as Knife rejoins the fight, but they are down so many players. As it was a solid hold in front of B, it seemed like they had everything scripted ready to take us into a 7th and final. But as Knife erupts from the ground, he will be put 6 feet back under. ENCE bring this one to a conclusion. They allow Fnatic to get close, but not too close.
Fnatic had a really good run in this entire tournament, but just such close calls, a group stage that they barely scraped out of, an ENCE matchup that I think they believe should have gone to 7, I believe could have gone to 7. ENCE, a couple of really shaky moments there. I mean, let's be clear, they did not finish Midtown. They got held up and the matchup was starting to swing momentum-wise, composition-wise, strategy-wise over towards the side of Fnatic. And that could have been a huge blunder from Crimzo in terms of substitutions. However, the failure